welcome to the 320th episode of the So Video Games podcast, where we talk about any game at all, including new stuff, old stuff, and anything in between. If we are playing it, we'll be talking about it. Today we are recording on January 22nd, 2023. My name is Brad Galloway. I am the editor of GameCritics.com, and I'm also 50% of this here show. With me is the man who had his notes ready, Carlos Rodella.
I got plenty of notes, baby.
Many notes. We don't always have notes. In fact, we usually don't.
I know.
But
I asked
today
you
is
that
a notes day.
the other day. We were talking about, getting stuff ready for the show, and I was like, "Yeah, what's on your notes?" And you're like, "I got nothing."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wow, you do that every episode?"
I mean, yeah, for games, that's not true. Every once in a while, if something really pisses me off and I want to really mention it, then I'll make sure I write it down so I don't forget. But in general, I just write down the title and I just whatever happens.
You spitball.
I spitball. I was going to say free ball, but I don't think that's the right thing.
No, I think spitball works
Different.
better.
Spitball works
they're
better.
Different
I agree
things.
with you. Yeah, different. Okay, well, folks, we've got a jam-packed show, tons of stuff to talk about. But before we get into the main content, as usual, everyone knows that Carlos and I share a virtual living space divided down the middle with a strip of duct tape. That's right. It's housekeeping. I got a couple things, maybe like 3 things this week. Carlos, what do you got?
What's weird is, like, earlier this morning, I feel like it was, like, packed in here. And now, I guess I cleaned or something, and I forgot that I cleaned.
Somebody rip you off? Somebody broke in and stole your boxes?
Maybe someone stole some boxes. I think that's what happened. But that's actually better for us because, we only have so much time.
We got lots to talk about. That is very true. Why don't you kick it off, man? What's first on your list here?
All right, whatever's left that they didn't steal. This one's really important. This one's shiny because I can't believe both of us kind of didn't do our due diligence. But then again,
shit, what did we forget? What?
Yeah, we don't do homework anyhow. So it's not forgetting anything. It's just that we mentioned we mentioned an article about PS5 not being able to be vertical.
Yeah.
Because like some ooze might like ooze out and then damage
the liquid metal coolant.
Yeah, the T2 or whatever.
Exactly.
Well, that's wrong. You can put it back vertical if you want.
How so? That was that big thing came out last week about all those the damage it was doing.
Right, again, the big thing. We need to do homework. I think in general, humans need to do more homework in general, about fact checking, etc. But what that was someone got their PS5 fixed, and so they got them opened up. So like they opened up their PS5, did some work to it, put it back together, then put it vertical, and then that stuff oozed out because they opened it and they did stuff to it. So
really?
there is still an issue in the fact that like you should be able to open it and do stuff to it and still keep it vertical. But that's the issue. If you've never opened your PS5, which neither of us have, then you're fine.
Was that confirmed like at Sony, or who confirmed that?
Confirmed in a bunch of articles. I just kept reading through it. Yeah. And they're like, and then the person who actually tweeted it originally made an edit to their tweet and said, sorry, it was on us. We should have like said that specificness of it. So
that
someone
seems like
got
a very
it fixed.
large oversight. I wonder if they were doing that for clicks, because that seems like a very key point you should have mentioned.
Yeah, I don't think they were doing it for clicks. I think they just fucked up. So
Wow,
I'm going to put mine back to vertical today. Pretty excited.
I'm not. I moved everything to put it horizontal. Fuck it. I'm going to leave it horizontal. Okay. I'm not moving it again. So.
You're in.
I'm going to play it safe, taking the safe route.
I'm going to live on the dangerous side.
You do that. I'm not a risk taker, though. I am. Are you in real life, Carlos? Are you a risk taker? Because I am 100% not a risk taker.
I'm a in between. I risk some, and sometimes I don't.
Okay, that's fair. 50-50. Sure,
I am.
You're gambling with your risk taking. Half.
I am. I'm gambling with risk taking. Microsoft laying off people. That's bad. That
like
happened.
10,000.
Yeah, and I hear that a chunk of them are going to be Bethesda.
I heard that too. I heard a lot of what are the Halo developers? 343 is that what they're called? 343. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I mean, they're in my backyard and they're down the street from you, right? Like those are our neighbors. So we're gonna have like 10,000 neighbors all of a sudden out of a job around here. I don't know that we'll be able to absorb them all in the Pacific Northwest. I don't know what the job market is like for that tech industry, but a lot of folks are pretty nervous right now. A lot of people got laid off from Google. I had some people who were working at Google, and I had some friends who were working at Amazon, and they got laid off too. Yeah. Everybody's getting laid off in the tech sector, and some people are saying it's part of all the rich assholes are reappropriating their money to like do some kind of major movement. I don't know how true that is, but regardless, a lot of people out of jobs. So, man, best of luck to everybody who got laid off. And this is a larger discussion that we're not going to have, but man, everything is getting shaken up right now. I feel like the whole world is kind of in flux right now. So there's a lot of uncertainty. And one thing that I don't like is uncertainty, Carlos.
I know you bring it up a lot, and the fact that we live in uncertain times. But that's why people listen to this show, because then they can talk about games and hear about games and can, not think about it for a minute. But although we still talk about it, yes, because we're responsible.
Be the weekly certainty in people's uncertain lives. I
there
guess.
You go. That's better than what I said. Let's go with that.
Well, I just took the spirit of what you said. It was your idea.
Okay, well then make that the name of the podcast. Weekly certainty. What did you say?
I don't know. I'll make it up.
I forgot what I said. So I'm later in the episode going to talk about Bethesda, but obviously people are worried because of Starfield, which is coming out potentially very soon.
Sure.
I think my new prediction is March. They're just going to drop it on us, and it's going to be a special, and they're going to be like, it's next month, it's coming out.
Gotcha.
That's what I think. But anyways, that is tricky, and I love Bethesda, and I love, a lot of people that worked at Microsoft, so tricky for them. Also, so good luck for everybody. Then also, February 2nd, this is weird kind of a switch, but...
It's my birthday.
Is it?
It is.
Well, on your birthday, one of the funnest, weirdest games comes out on console. And I have a tangent here written in my notes.
Okay.
That is, a ton of games come out to Steam, and then either I play them for half a second in early access, but lots of times I wait for them to come to console because I want to sit on my couch and play them.
Absolutely, dude.
Right.
I'm right with you on that.
So this is a perfect example. I started it, I loved it, I stopped it, and now it's coming to console on February 2nd. It's called Fashion Police Squad.
Oh, yeah. We reviewed that at Game Critics.
Did you?
Yeah, I think Darren Foreman reviewed that for us.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
It just seems really fun, and I had a good time with it. It's like comedy, first-person shooter, old school, but you're not really shooting. You're kind of like, it's just weird meta first-person shooter.
You're like you're putting clothes on people who are quote unquote unfashionable. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, you're checking the fashion basically around, and it's just also an excuse to do like comedy in a first-person shooter.
Sure.
It's super fun, unlockables and stuff. So, anyways, I'm pretty excited that's coming to console very soon.
Right on.
I also want to mention Gaming in the Wild, which we love.
We love Gaming in the Wild. What's up, John?
He has done a few videos, and I just finally saw that he did one for his Game of the Year. So I highly recommend people go check it out because it takes a long time to edit those kind of things. I know, I'm an editor. And so he painstakingly, made his whole podcast full of video. Just imagine how long that took.
I don't want to imagine how long that takes.
As he talked about the games he was, put on his list, Game of the Year, he showed them and stuff like that in footage. So
sure.
Wow.
I mean,
it's
got to be a nightmare because whenever, I don't do video editing, but I do text editing, which already takes way longer than I want it to. And then whenever we do a feature or an article or anything like that and have to get like images, and that's like nothing, dude. I'm sure it's like 100 times worse for video, and that's already too much for me. So
yeah,
I'm out. But good job, John, on doing all that hard work.
So go over to his YouTube channel and check that out. One more thing, and then I'll let you do a couple boxes. Is
sure.
PlayStation just put out a trailer for their games coming out in 2023 and 2024, actually. It's like a trailer.
Oh, God, and 2024. Okay.
Yeah, they just dropped it. But I think 80% of the games in the trailer were this year.
Okay, cool.
And it was just so many good games. I was just surprised. I was like, wow, I want that. And they did this thing that it's kind of funny. It's a role reversal, because Xbox having issues with first-party games, meaning not having many, and my whole thing about that. But
sure,
they kind of pulled a Microsoft where at the bottom, in a small lower third, they would put only on PlayStation 5,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And Xbox did that all the time for like things they didn't even need to do,
sure.
like exclusive. Sure. But those were all real. Like they are only PS5, and there was just so many games that I wanted to play. So
right on. I'll have to catch that. You said
you should check it
recently?
out. Yeah, it's up on YouTube right now. Just PlayStation Games 2023 trailer. Check it out.
I'm gonna write it down.
Yeah. And speaking of Xbox, that Activision Blizzard thing, is that ever going to happen?
What are we talking about? I don't know.
Their merger of Activision Blizzard.
I thought that already happened. Didn't that happen years ago?
It's got stuck. It's still stuck.
People are calling them ActiBliz. I thought that was already done.
It's stuck, dude. It's
really?
like the Monopoly thing. I'm going to double check while you look through some boxes, but I'm almost a million times positive.
No, I don't know. I have not been keeping up with ActiBliz and whatever's happening over there. So
on January 18, 2022, Microsoft announced its intent to acquire Activision Blizzard. It hasn't happened yet. What's
I don't
happening?
Even know. I have
it
no
says
idea.
right here. Hold on Polygon. It says there's a steady drip of news as the tech giant tries to clear its huge deal. It's still not happened.
So just so I'm clear, because I don't think I'm clear. So Activision Blizzard already merged, but what you're talking about is Microsoft buying the giant amoeba known as Activision Blizzard. So
sorry,
I
thought that's what I was saying. Xbox and Activision Blizzard.
I mean,
yes.
it's probably my bad because I don't really pay attention to the business side that much. So
Yeah.
those two have already merged, but now a third amoeba wants to join the big amoeba orgy, and that is what we're talking about. Microsoft hasn't finalized their
Yeah, they can't do
merger.
it. They can't.
Gotcha.
FTC's giving issues, and they're just blocking it. So, like,
I think it's really interesting because if they have issues with Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard, but nobody in the U.S. government has problems with Kroger owning every grocery store in America, so I guess I don't see where the line is. One of those impacts me way more than the other one. So, what's up, Joe Biden?
well, I wonder if it's the size of the market. I mean, gaming is huge, and it's obviously one of the biggest, entertainment businesses. But at the same time, I don't know. I thought I had an idea, but I don't.
I love that you just say that, though.
Well, yeah, because I started just talking and seeing if it would come back to me, but it's gone.
I appreciate you trying it out, though. Good for you.
They call it unconstitutional because of, maybe because, again, like the gaming industry has only so many endpoints for like games, like the console specifically. So like food is just ubiquitous and it's everywhere. So I don't know. Maybe there's a difference there.
I don't know. One of those seems way more dangerous to me, and it's not the video game one, but we'll see.
Right, because it's our food that we're putting in our body.
Literally, the food I need to live is now a monopoly. So, yes.
Well, and we talked about this on the phone. Like, I kind of wanted or thought Sony might buy Square Enix. Did we talk about this, or maybe we didn't?
I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Okay, I might have brought up on a previous podcast, but like that seems to make sense to me. But then some people were like, "Well, that will get stuck too, just like this one," and you don't think they could pull it off.
You would think if one gets stuck, why not the other one?
Yeah. Anyways, that's some stuff. I have one more little box, but go ahead and open some for us.
All right, cool. First, I'm going to give a shout out to Steve over at Astrolabe Games. They are a new publishing house bringing titles to the U.S., and Steve said he listened to the show and he liked it, so that's cool. I love when people listen to the show because we talk a lot, and I would like somebody to listen to it, I guess.
Yes,
so shout out to
you.
Steve at Astrolabe. I looked at his list of upcoming titles. It looks like there's some good stuff coming. And I think I did put in a request for coverage on a couple of those titles. So I'm sure we will be talking more about this publisher. Looks like some interesting stuff. So, hey. Let's see. I will say a little bit. I was invited to attend a top secret preview, which happened literally at 2 a.m. a couple days ago.
Wait. Is that the preview that I was in or no?
We can't say it online if
we
it was.
can't say
I don't
if
think
it was.
so.
Okay.
I don't know if it was. Maybe different. Maybe yes, maybe no.
I was also in a
but it
secret
was
preview,
online.
but I won't talk about it then.
It was via Zoom, so it was nothing in person.
Oh, okay. Something different.
Something different. But yeah, it was like at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I mean, I'm up at 2. I'm already up at 2, but, I'm playing games. I'm hanging with the wife. I'm, messing around with my Transformers. I'm doing stuff, But I'm like, all right, fine. I'll make some time. And I'm glad that I did because it was fucking awesome. It was so cool.
Oh, interesting.
Not many developers I would do that for, but I did, and I'm glad that I did. And I can't talk about it until next week. But that game looks fucking rad. It's going to be on my top 10 of the year. I guarantee it. I fucking guarantee it. It's going to be a top 10.
Wow. Okay, now I'm interested.
So very psyched. Can't talk about it, but I will talk more about it next week. You'll know exactly what I mean, and I may even do like an interview or preview. I'm very excited about this game. Quite a bit. Very excited. So
while we're on that tip, though, real quick, we shall see, and I'm very excited now. But I did play, and I can say that I played Wayfinder.
You can't say nothing else than that.
I know, I can't say it, but it says in my email that I can say that I played it because people got invited to
I played it as well. Wayfinder.
Right.
And literally can't say nothing else. Wayfinder.
No, that's it.
Period.
We played a game, and it's called Wayfinder.
And that's it.
But I did know about it before. Like, if you go to YouTube and type it in.
Yeah, you can Google stuff about it.
People know about it, right? So,
But they were very strict. Like they said multiple times, don't say shit about it. So.
Yeah, I know. So anyways, that's the thing that I did.
That's a thing.
Back to your boxes.
I want to give a heads up to people. I haven't really talked about this before, But I have been working with Logitech G for like the last 6 weeks or so, maybe a little bit longer, on their Logitech G Adaptive Esports Tournament, this time featuring Rocket League. And so what I'm doing is I'm doing the sign language for that. So when you watch that tournament, if you want the sign language, that dude in the corner is me. So if you want to see me doing my thing, I will be there. I covered all of the preliminaries. We did the LCQ, which is the last chance qualifier, and we're going to be doing the finals real soon. And it's been really exciting. They provide accessibility for 3 levels of players, and I'm not like on the staff or anything. I'm just like the freelance dude they hired, so I don't know the ins and outs. But basically, one group is people who need some kind of special accommodation, like a special controller or something like that. The second group is people who are paralyzed from the neck down. And then the third group are people that don't need physical accommodations, but they have some kind of, I guess, mental. They need some kind of processing, or I'm really afraid of saying this wrong. I don't mean to insult anybody at all, but they need some kind of not a physical accommodation, but like a mental accommodation or some kind of something like that. I apologize if I'm not getting this right. I'm sorry, folks. I don't remember exactly the terminology, but it's awesome work. I'm so proud to be a part of it. I think it's really cool and exciting. And man, the people that have been in that tournament have been kicking ass. I am blown away at how good they are at Rocket League. Number one, because I suck at Rocket League.
Yeah.
But seeing some of the shit that they're pulling off, like some of the flips and the spins and the shots, I'm like, wow, pretty amazing stuff. I would really encourage anybody out there who's got any kind of disability to check it out and apply for next time. I mean, it's basically over for this year, but I think they're probably going to do one again next year. There's prize money. They got lots of good supporters, and it's just a really, really cool thing. So check it out for that. And if you do want to see me doing my thing, I'm also there. You got to turn on the sign language. They have like a bunch of different languages. I believe they also have British Sign Language if you want that. I'm doing the American Sign Language, and it's been a really cool thing. I'm really proud to be a part of it. So big ups to Logitech and to everybody involved. I believe it's also Able Gamers. It's Mount Sinai Hospital, and there is one more sponsor, which, gosh darn it, I apologize. I can't remember what their third one is, but great group of folks. It's been a really wonderful experience. So check it out if you are at all interested in tournaments, esports, Rocket League, disability tournaments, adaptive technology, anything like that. It's great stuff.
Cool. Check it out.
Check that out. And the last thing, just a really quick game-related shout-out. I talked about... Did we ever talk about Elder Sign Omens on this podcast? Probably not, huh?
I don't remember that.
Do you know what that game is?
No.
So I'm a big Lovecraft fan, as you know, and I also love like dice-based games. It's not my main jam, but like when a dice game does really well, I really kind of get into it. There's something just really neat and mechanical and defined about rolling dice and having to like count the numbers. And it's not something I want to play all the time, but every once in a while, for example, like Citizen Sleeper, that was a really cool implementation. Tharsis was one that had a really cool implementation a couple years ago. And Elder Sign Omens is a tabletop RPG, which I've never played. I bought it. I think I even bought it twice. And I think I have some of the expansions for it. I've literally never played it because I never have enough people around. And now that COVID's happening, I will never have anybody at my house. So I have this cool looking box on my shelf, but they did make an electronic version of it. It was on, it was like when I got my very first iPhone, the very first iPhone I ever got, it had that game on it. I'm like, oh, so I downloaded this. I think Mike Bracken, who used to be at the GameCritics.com site that we all know and love, recommended it to me. And it's a great adaptation. It's dice, it's cards, it's very mechanical, it's very tabletop RPG-ish, but with Lovecraft stuff. And so I loved playing that on my iPhone back in the day. And I remembered it a couple days ago. I'm like, oh man, I want to play some more of that. I never finished the DLC. I should go back and play the DLC. And I got it on my new Pixel 7 phone, and it's like, this game does not work on this phone. And I'm like, no, what? So it just worked on my most recent phone, the one I had right before this. So I got pissed, and I'm like, God damn it, I want to play this thing. So anyway, I bought it on Steam for like $6. It's the whole game. It's all the DLC in one giant package. And the game is like, I want to say it's like 11 years old. I mean,
jeez.
It's been around for a while, but Elder Sign's a pretty famous board game, and I feel like this adaptation was great. So I'm gonna play it on Steam. I don't want to, but I will. And just for anybody else out there who's looking for a Lovecraft game, a dice game, anything really interesting off the beaten path, it's got lots of cool DLC, lots of cool theming, and it's $6 on Steam. So Elder Sign Omens, it's an oldie, but it's definitely a goodie.
Well, check that out. Oldie but a goodie. Hey, later on the show, we'll talk about another oldie but a goodie.
Oh man, yes,
Foreshadowing.
looking forward to that. Any other housekeeping? Get one more box, Carlos?
There's two little boxes that were at my
Go for
feet.
it.
I forgot. One is because you mentioned tabletop. Legend of Keepers just sent me an email that they're coming out with a tabletop game.
Really? Okay,
That
interesting.
might be really, really fun.
I mean, that was a great video game. I hope that they can carry that same energy to a board game.
Yeah, it's like the idea of, I mean, especially the comedy too. Remember, it's like
Yeah.
you have monsters that you are, creating your own dungeon, and the monsters are kind of like employees, and so there's a lot of like co-working and like office humor in it.
Sure.
So I could see that translating really well to a tabletop. So
Could be very fun.
also, I am just addicted to watching. I'm guessing you don't know Asmongold. Do you know him on YouTube?
Doesn't sound familiar. No.
Okay. He basically is watching Emiru play Dark Souls, and it's just super fun.
I don't know any of the words you said except for Dark Souls.
Okay,
That's
well,
the only thing I heard.
Some streamer is this girl's playing Dark Souls, and she'll play it and like just be like, what? Should I go over here? And then like the boss just dies somehow, and like Asmongold just loses his mind. And it's just,
is she like playing it cold or something? She doesn't. She's never.
She doesn't know. I mean, she knows Souls games, but like,
okay.
she's not like the best or whatever. I don't know. It just seems like her innocent playing of it, like, still somehow wins.
Interesting.
And then he just loses his fucking mind because he's like, "But how did that even happen? What? She's supposed to be dead." It's endlessly fun to me to watch him lose his shit over someone like, essentially doing what he couldn't do.
Right.
It's endlessly fun. Anyways, check that out. It's on YouTube. And also, I just remembered, Last of Us HBO.
Oh, yeah. That's a thing.
That's a thing. It just came out. Did you watch the pilot? You didn't?
No. I've beaten the game, and I am excited to watch it because I'm a big Pedro Pascal fan. He is everyone's dad as far as I'm concerned. But my wife wants to watch it, but she has not played the game, and it's been on her list for a while. She's just been really busy. Her work is just like bananas and bonkers and stuff. So she doesn't want to watch it until she's had a chance to play the game. So we are putting it on hold. By the time that she gets around to it, the whole series will be out, and I think she's going to try to queue it up pretty soon. But we have not watched it. We're not going to watch it, and that's where we're at with that right now.
Well, I will say that, and you've already probably heard, but super faithful to the game. Mm-hmm. Pedro kills it. All the actresses that play his daughter. I feel bad that I don't remember the names.
I know who you're talking about. She was really good in this other HBO.
She was in tons of stuff. Yeah,
good stuff.
Maybe look that up for me so I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
And so it's just fucking incredible. And the pilot is like an hour, like more than an hour. It's like a movie. It feels like a movie. The pilot, it's super long. But anyways, it's just crazy how close.
Bella Ramsey.
Yes, she's so good.
She's great. She's wonderful.
And so anyways, it's just like really incredible. So I'm really excited for you to see it. Which leads me into my first game.
Uh-oh. That was a smooth transition.
Can I do that? I know you have to say a bunch
I think you
of
just
spiel. Okay.
I think you just did. It was so smooth. It just happened.
We're going to just jump into games with this idea that I came up with, which is I watched Last of Us HBO pilot. It's fucking amazing. It got me super excited about Last of Us, which you know me, not the biggest fan of the game.
You played the original, and yeah, you were not. I think I liked it more. I definitely think I liked the Last of Us Part 1 more than you did. Yeah.
Let me. Here's the backstory.
Give us your backstory.
I said many times when I played Last of Us 1 and beat it that it was throwing rocks to distract people and then fighting zombies, and that's all I remember from it. Like, It just felt like I just kept distracting enemies and then go kill them, distract enemies and then go kill them, or get caught and an instant death. Remember those instant deaths? It's just
sure. Some of those big fungus dudes will kill you.
You're just like, you're dead, you're dead. So just a ton of that. And I don't remember the difficulty settings back then, but I probably tried to like brute force my way through normal and just kept eating shit. So it took me a very long time. I didn't have a lot of fun with the gameplay. And even though I really enjoy what they did, and it's just Naughty Dog made this beautiful production of a game, I just was frustrated by it. And then when Last of Us 2 came around, I did not care for a lot of the grotesque torture and stuff that they did in that game. Human torture, right?
Yeah.
And not just monsters. And then I don't like, without a spoiler, like, what is it? A first maybe hour or two into that game, some big thing happens.
Big event, sure.
Didn't care for that either. So I just didn't like a lot of 2. So I didn't finish that.
Sure. Well, let me give you my backstory real quick.
Yeah. So your backstory,
just so people know where we're coming from.
Yeah.
So I did like The Last of Us Part 1. In fact, it may even have been my game of the year when it came out. It's possible. It was definitely my top 3, I think. I really liked it a lot. Liked the writing. I liked the characterization and all that stuff. I thought it was good. I was definitely in the mood for it at the time. So it's still something that I look back on fondly, and I'm watching. I can't even talk today, man. Excuse me. I'm looking forward to watching my wife play it through. I'll probably sit on the couch next to her and just kind of watch her do that. It's really fun.
Right.
But when Last of Us 2 came out, I mean, I didn't think The Last of Us needed a sequel. I just straight up did not think it needed a sequel. I thought it ended perfectly. I did, like you, I did not care for the torture. I did not care for the big event. I felt like it was way too long. I feel like there's probably a much better, shorter game in there. But overall, the script, I didn't finish it, but I played a big chunk of it, like at least half. And then I read ahead to see what happened. And I'm kind of glad I noped out, because I feel like playing Last of Us 2 was ruining my enjoyment of Last of Us 1. Like, it was soiling my memories, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan of Last of Us 2. I don't need more of that. I mean, maybe new characters, different characters, but I don't need the whole, like you said, like the torture and the brutality, and it just felt like not necessary. So,
it felt weird. It felt like you said, like an elongating. Is that a word?
It is now.
Okay, elongated the main story, right? Yeah. But then it had to like up the ante, so it upped the ante in weird ways that were dark, I think. Anyways, they are making Last of Us Part 3, by the way.
I did hear about that. I hope it's something totally new. I don't want these characters anymore.
What's interesting is then both of us do at least hold the first one in higher regard. Yes. Me, again, having played it and been frustrated with some of the controls and difficulty, I wanted to go back because Last of Us HBO series is so freaking good that it just made me remember all the parts that I did like, which, what Naughty Dog does well, which is these drama moments.
Oh yeah,
these really cool, epic shots and actually just character development. So I go back and I have the PlayStation trial for third tier or whatever that bullshit is.
The top tier, the gold platinum.
I have the gold tier for a minute, yeah. And so they let you play trials of games that are new for a couple hours.
Okay, pretty good trial then.
You can see. And I mean, I don't have the money now, but I'm glad I did because I played Last of Us Part 1 Remake, the true remake, and it really is fucking different. I mean, what way? It feels, because the graphics are so better and the actual characters look more realistic, it just adds more level of agency and being there. And I just felt like everything had more, I don't know, stakes just by being graphically better. And also, I hadn't been with this game for a long time, right? Like, when did it come out? A long time ago. I didn't play it since it came out.
Yeah.
Right? So it's new fresh eyes. Yeah. And also the fresh eyes of seeing the show, because the show, literally, it's almost like verbatim. Like, they almost don't even do too many new scenes, especially in that very beginning part, which is intense. And anyways, long story short, I played only a couple hours of it, but it is truly a unique and almost, I want to say a brand new game, but it's like the best version of that game.
Sure.
And, hold on. One more. It is the best and.
Go ahead.
This is why when I do have money and I'm watching this series, I'm going to go back and I'm going to buy this remake. And I recommend it to people because there was different difficulty modes. And they had normal, hard, very hard, whatever. Light, I think they called it light, like light touch or something. Then there was extra light.
Did they have HBO? Was HBO like the easiest difficulty mode? That would have been pretty good.
HBO was just the cutscenes.
You just sit back and watch it.
No, but I put it on very light, and I just felt like I just want to go back to the story again, right?
Sure.
So yes, I do have to restart it because it was just on the trial, but. Although I think I saved the game, so maybe they'll let me keep those saves.
Maybe it's one of those demos where it carries over your progress.
It'd be nice if it did, yeah. So anyways, I just highly recommend it, man. Especially for people who've never played that game and now are watching the series. That's the perfect way to play it because it's just beautiful, man. It's fucking awesome looking.
Yeah. Well, I know things have happened since then, and I know that Druckmann or whatever has kind of got himself into trouble a few times. Looks like he's maybe kind of getting up his own ass a little bit. And, things have happened and, whatever. But when you go back to the game and what it was back then and what it did back then, I mean, I still think it's a great game. If you remove all the outside kerfuffle from it and just look at what the game is, I still stand by it, man. I still think, I'm not going to say it's the best game in the world. It's not my favorite game of ever. Definitely has some issues, but I think what it is a great experience. I think it's a great ride. It's a great story. And Joel and Ellie in game one is something that I really enjoyed quite a bit. So I still have fond memories of that, regardless of whatever else comes afterwards. And I do think that it's one of those ones where I think that most people should at least try it just to see. And certainly if you are in games criticism or a games reviewer, or if you try to look at games in any kind of serious way, you kind of have to play it just to say that you've played it. I mean, to not play that would be something like, I'm a book reviewer, but I've never read anything by, Stephen King or something, or, like some genre milestone or something like that. Right. So
I think so.
That's great. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think the biggest thing that took me out of it the first time was those instant kills, because there's like Tomb Raider, they have them too in Tomb Raider, which I love that new series, rebooted series.
Yeah.
And they're fun to watch or whatever. But like, I felt like in Last of Us 1, again, whatever difficulty mode I had it on, it just happens so much that it just takes you out of like,
sure, this
whole thing where, they're leading you through this kind of dramatic moments, and you're feeling good, and you're like feeling connected to this, girl you're trying to protect, and you're feeling connected to the new characters you just met. And then you're just dying a bunch, instant kills like 10 times in a row.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just took me out of it so bad the first time. And they keep making those areas. It's like, now there's new spore monsters that are even harder. Sure. And if you go even near them, I remember I died in a cutscene. There was like a cutscene happening, and it was like you go too close to the character, a zombie just jumps up and eats you. And so I don't know. Hopefully with the light touch version, I don't have to worry about that, because that's the thing that took me out of it. But
yeah, well, I mean, I kind of agree with you there, because difficulty is a thing we talk about a lot, and in a game like that where, I mean, once you realize the loop, like kind of like what you said. I mean, I don't mean to be like overly reductive, but like you are throwing rocks, you are distracting people, you're scrounging for empty plastic bottles and beef jerky, and then you're also stabbing zombies in the head. Like once you do like 4 hours of that, I mean, that's basically what that game is. And the reason you keep playing is for the story. I mean, because you're invested in the characters, you're invested in the events, you want to know how it turns out, and it's worth it for that. I think it is worth it for that. So in a game like that, I have no problem whatsoever putting it on the easiest difficulty, because getting carried away with the drama, getting swept up in the characters is really what you're there for.
Yeah.
So I think it's totally justified and fine that you don't want to spend 75 minutes on a room with 3 clickers and you've only got one Molotov and you can't figure it out and you can't make it work and you're taking too much damage. I mean,
exactly.
That's not the fun part. That's not the value of that game for me anyway. Maybe people disagree, but for me, get through it however you get through it, but really for me it's the characters, the story, the journey.
100%. And I don't want to make this tangent, but I'll do a light touch of the tangent.
Do a light touch on the tangent.
Which, as we get further in game development and open-ended gameplay, which is the stuff that I've been always wanting more and more of, which is better AI, better NPCs, better physics, and allowing the players to play the game how they want to play it. That Last of Us type game will, I think, be more enjoyable, because it won't be about having just a couple Molotovs that I can craft or whatever. It'll be like, hey, what's in this room? What can I use? Right? I feel like that's the eventual place will lead us to, is when open world / third person and even first person games let you kind of mess with the environment and then do things how you want to. It's like even some of a little bit of Elden Ring, where I cheese some things, was a touch of that. It was like, gotcha. I'm going to do it this way, right? When you have it so structured that, you only have 2 Molotovs left and you got to be really quick with your fingers, to do this one thing so you don't get eaten. I think that's what it is. It's limitation.
Interesting you bring that up, because I'm actually going to be talking about that exact thing later on in this podcast.
Oh, interesting. It's like I knew.
Synchronicity, my friend. Synchronicity. Yep. Any final thoughts?
That's it. I just really like the remake. I can't believe that I was so impressed by it, because I was just ready to go in and going like, oh yeah, I know this game. But the graphics really do make a difference, and I don't know what other little tweaks they did, but it's great. It's like the best way to play it. So
right on. And just a really quick note before we leave this, I know that a lot of my friends in the disability community have been really praising Naughty Dog for the accessibility. They went back and they took all of the accessibility from The Last of Us Part 2. Regardless of my feelings on that game, and they are not good, I do celebrate the fact that The Last of Us Part 2 is, I think, probably the most accessible game in history. You can play if you're completely blind. You can play if you're completely deaf. There's all sorts of different accommodations, colorblind modes, all sorts of different tweaks you can do to the game. So they did take all of the stuff that they put in Last of Us Part 2, which was already the leader, like bar none, basically. And they added more stuff to it on top of that. So they took all the accessibility. They put even more. They heard they like accessibility. They put more accessibility in your accessibility, and they put it all in The Last of Us Part 1. So now, I guess, technically, The Last of Us Part 1 Remake is the most accessible game in history.
Wow.
So, kudos for that.
I'm glad you bring that up. And also, now that you say it, I just remember like going through a lot of menus this time in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, what are they doing? It was like even just like for the coloring, for the shadows. And I was like, whoa. And that's why I got that very light touch,
I'm sure. Yeah.
A difficulty mode. So praise to
them.
So
props. Regardless of anything else, I think it's amazing that they're pushing accessibility forward like that. And I really hope that other people will follow in their footsteps for sure. All right, cool. Let me take over for a bit here. Let me talk about Sky Children of Light, coming from that game company who are the people who made Journey and Flower. But I don't know for sure. Genova Chen, who we actually interviewed one time, was really nice dude. I mean, I don't want to say he was the driving force behind that game company, but one of the key creators. I think he left before they made Sky Children of Light. Do you know anything about that, Carlos? Do you know the timing of that?
I don't. I'm going to look it up, but I do know of him, and I know of Sky, and I think we mentioned it on the show, but like recently they did a concert by Aurora in Sky.
They did, yeah.
And I love Aurora, so.
So, I don't know anything about Aurora. I trust you that
she's awesome. She's awesome, yeah.
But Sky Children of Light. So I liked Flower. I thought Flower was great. I like Journey. Not my favorite game. I don't know that I love it as much as some people do, but I definitely liked it, and I definitely thought it was very cool. So coming to Sky, Children of Light, I didn't know anything about it. I knew it went to mobile first, though, and that was kind of a weird thing for me, that these developers who had made their fortune on PlayStation would go to mobile instead, and I believe that's when Genova Chen left. But it looks a little bit like Journey-ish. It's got the same kind of like cool vistas, kind of a simplified character design with like some flowy clothes on them, like soft colors and stuff. So it's got definite Journey vibes, but it's a very different thing. So you've never played Sky, Carlos?
I didn't. It's on my PlayStation. It's free, so
it is free to play
it. And also, Chen worked as a creative director on in the first mobile game of that company, Sky. So
okay, so he was at least partially involved. Yep. Okay, maybe still there at that time. So I gotta say, I'm not sure what I was expecting, other than another that game company jam. I expected freedom of movement, some not, just like going over a landscape, inspirational music. I mean, they had kind of a groove going with their last couple of games, and they were like really well known for it. Sky Children of Light sort of does that, but they also really lean into this strange area that I can only describe as incredibly fucking annoying. I noped out of this game so hard, dude. It was like I face planted into a brick wall. It starts off kind of lush and cool, and they start with their whole, there's a spirits and the sky and stars, and you're like, okay, cool, like Journey vibes, I get it, I know what you're doing. But then all of a sudden it's like tutorial, notification. Hey, here's the inbox. Hey, here's this. Here's some monetization. Hey, here's this other thing. Hey, here's another thing. Hey, look at this thing. There's a menu over here. Do this thing over here. And I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck?
Wait, I can help you. It was originally a mobile game.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
It feels absolutely like one of those crappy mobile games I would play for 5 minutes and bounce, because it's, oh God, it's just like, what happened, man? Like, your character flies. You have a little, wing cape or something. And at least I was thinking, okay, well, at least I'll fly around. No, it's like it's on a timer. You got to get a bunch of, like, upgrades for it. It doesn't feel good to control. I'm like, what happened to you guys? Like, you guys, this is your jam, and you're not getting it right. Immersion totally broken by the constant, like, interruptions with stuff. I was in the first level, and I meet this ghost, and I'm like, I feel like I need to help this ghost, and helping ghosts helps power up your wing. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to do this. But then I was like, no, move ahead, come back later. And I'm like, but I'm not, you're not, like, what? I just want to play this game, and you're not letting me play this game. Like, I want to get in the zone, and I can't get in the zone. Like, it's just like, you get to this hub. There's a hub, and there's all these people walking around in the hub. And I'm like, gross. Like, what's happening here? Like, there's a customization station where you have different hats and different capes, and you can buy some if you want to. And, like, it's just like all these little things are happening, and it's like, none of this is holding together. It all just feels like busy work wrapped up in a Journey suit. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, I just did not like any of this.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was just really annoying. I spent not even 2 hours on it, dude, because I was just like, oh my God, it just felt like I was going to like activate these things for Y, and I wasn't involved in the story, and I wasn't involved in the action, and man, just like, wow, what a weird wrong turn. I don't need an online hub. I don't need to make friends in this game. I don't need to buy customization stuff. I just wanted to have that cool experience that these developers have delivered twice in a row. That was so great. Third time is not the charm for this one. I just it feels really wrong-headed to me, and I didn't understand what they were going for, and I just don't ever want to play this again.
All right, well, I won't touch it and download it, but yeah, I think also if you would have known it was a mobile game before that, probably would have jumped away from it even earlier.
I mean, I knew, but I was giving them the benefit of the doubt, right?
Okay,
I knew. I was like, I loved, well, I really had great respect for the last couple games. I figured they would carry that through, and, it would be slightly different, of course, but boy, they really leaned into the whole mobile busy work bullshit thing. It was not good. It was not good.
It just seems like a different departure that's not, game focused and like relaxing experience focused. It's more about like, yeah, like you said, a hub and like things to do.
And monetization and just weird stuff and just, like you're getting messages in your inbox. I don't want to get messages in my inbox when I'm playing a game like Journey. Fuck that. What?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, our new event starts and come to the hub and check out this thing. And I'm like, no, none of that is what I want. None of that. So anyway, I'm out.
Okay.
Let me talk about another slightly better experience. Scrap Riders, playing this on the Switch. This is a 2D pixel-based indie where it is a point and click, and it is also a beat 'em up. It is both. Pretty interesting combination. It is. It's really interesting. You start off, you're in the group of scrap riders. You're kind of like, I don't know, like bounty hunters of the wasteland. It's kind of a vaguely kind of Mad Max-ish, post-apocalyptic sorta kind of vibe going on. And you need to recover some doodad or whatever. And you go out to these locations. Like first location's like a bar, and you're walking around talking to all the scummy patrons, and everybody's like weird, wastoid and mutant and stuff. And you're kind of, you click on somebody and it's like, look at a thing, talk to them, grab it or use it. Your basic point and click interactions, which is fine. And then, they go for humor. Some of the jokes land, some of them don't. Some of them are kind of funny. Some of them I'm kind of like, is that a little mean-spirited? Maybe it is, but okay, we'll see how it goes. But I appreciate that they're trying for the comedy. And then once you get into a certain point, like, there'll be some roughs in the bar, or there'll be like a boss or something who's like, get out of here. You're not supposed to be here because, whatever reasons. And then it goes to a 2D beat 'em up. You have like a dash and a jump and a light attack and a heavy attack. You got some combos and stuff. And I got to say, it actually works pretty well. I do appreciate that when you get to a certain point, you can't do it anytime, which I think is a bummer. It would be cool to just like anytime you want, start beating people up but that would be hard to program for, right? Because you'd like break the story, you'd break progression. Very few games, Procession to Cavalry let you do that. And that was a point and click that let you kill people anytime, which was fucking amazing.
That seems crazy. Yeah.
I fucking loved that. So props to Procession to Cavalry, but that's really the only one of point and click style where you can really break flow like that. But the fights here are pre-scripted. You have to fight where you fight. And it's still good. It's still good. I just would like to, when someone's like, yeah, I've got a key card you need. Give me $5. And you don't know. No, I'm just going to punch you. Like, that would be pretty cool to do that. But you can't. Anyway,
you're not in the punching zone.
No, not in the punching zone yet. But when you do get in the punching zone, it feels good. Combat's tight. It's fun. I feel like it's skewed to make it pretty easy, which is good because it's a fucking point and click, and I don't want to have to play those battles a million times. But, you got a life meter, stamina meter, punchy. It's really fun. And then you beat the dudes up and it goes back to a point and click, and then you figure out where your next objective is. It's pretty cool. I'm not super far into it. I'm only a couple levels into it. And I really like the graphics are really well done. There's a lot of detail in the pixel work. I think visually it's got a really nice vibe to it. I think the fighting feels really good. The jokes, they're okay. I feel like it's just one notch too far into risque territory for me. And I don't even mean risque because I'm not a prude or anything, but there's just a couple jokes where I'm like, okay, that was kind of bad taste. But not super bad because I'm still playing it. I would bounce if it was really bad. But just, it's got a little bit of a dark flavor to it, which sometimes okay, sometimes not. I'm still playing it though. I think it's a really cool, interesting blend. I'm interested in exploring the point and click genre. I think this one definitely pushes things forward, explores new things. And I think it's just really cool. It's cool to break up a little point and clicky section with some fights, some fisticuffs, get your adrenaline pumping, beat up some dudes, come back, and then you talk some more, you poke some more, then you fight some more. Like, it's a good blend.
It's a cool combo, and I'm looking at the screenshots. It looks like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
A little bit, yeah. It's kind of colorful. It's got that same kind of like weird mutant vibe to it. Like, there's definitely some great visuals going on. I think the visuals are pretty cool. So, yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. I think it's really interesting. Like I said, I haven't finished it, but I'm still playing. But so far, I definitely would recommend it to anybody who, like me, it likes point and clicks, but doesn't want the old standby with the cat hair mustache bullshit. You want just like something lighter, something more approachable. I haven't gotten stuck on any of the puzzles yet, which is great. And I haven't gotten stuck on the fighting, which is also great. So I feel like so far it's hitting a pretty good groove. And, like I said, some of the jokes I don't care for, but I feel like it's interesting. And if you, like me, want to see something new in the genre, check this one out.
Yeah, I like anybody trying something new, so it seems like it works.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. So, all right, there you go. Scrap Riders. That is definitely a thumbs up so far. I'm digging that one. Let's go back over to you, Carlos, for a pair of Uns.
Oh, right. 2 games starting with Un in the name.
That is exactly so.
Yes.
Undecember. Let's start with that one. Undecember, which I guess is what? Is that June? What is the opposite of December? December is cold and wintry. Is it spring and warm? What's Undecember?
It's none of that. It's not wordplay or anything. I don't know why it's called that. I can look it up, but I probably won't. Undecember is...
I love the integrity and the honesty of this podcast. We're not going to do that. We're going to tell you that.
It's by Needs Games. I think this is their only game, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is. I've actually saw, I think, an early alpha of it a long time ago. It's on Steam only right now. It's free to play. It's a hack and slash like Diablo. And
okay.
I just love those kind of games, especially if it's free to play, especially right now with very little money. I'm like, yes, a free game that's also like Diablo. I will play it. I think October 11th is when it came out.
This is PC, I assume?
PC on Steam right now, free to play. And I think that there's some sort of update recently is why I got to see it. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is like officially ready for people to play. So what is it? This is the shortest review ever. It's Diablo Immortal.
Okay.
That's it.
There we go.
And moving on. But guess what? That's fucking great because I, on this podcast, have stood by Diablo Immortal. And yes, I think that the monetization is fucking ridiculous. I have to say that every time so people don't get mad. Because of course it is. It's stupid, right?
Yeah. But you loved it, though. I remember you were one of the hardest hitting stands for that game. You really enjoyed it.
Yeah, because you can play it free. I never spent any money on it. If you don't care about PvP and you don't care about being the best or looking like fancy armor, you play it as a regular Diablo game. And it's basically Diablo 3/4 because it's like some of 3 and some of what's going to happen in 4, which is the kind of asynchronous or kind of weird multiplayer that just kind of phases in and out, like you're just with other people all of a sudden.
Okay.
So Immortal did that. Undecember does the same thing. There's people around. They're fighting with you. Sometimes they're not. You can play the whole thing single player. I'm playing a fuck ton of it. Never going to spend money. You can if you want. The monetization looks actually better than Diablo Immortal. So it's still bad. It's monetization. I wouldn't even say it's bad. There's like moments where you're like, well, that's $100. That doesn't make any sense. But then like there's these pets you can get, which I always like pets. And the pets come with you immediately for free. But if you want them to do anything, you have to pay for that. So it's really funny.
Pet prostitutes? Oh my God.
Yeah, because basically so I have a little monster or something. He's going along with me. He's just watching me fight. So I guess it's kind of.
But if you want him to give you some action, you got to slip him a $5. That sounds dirty, dude.
If I want him to fight or heal or do anything, I'd have to pay for that. Real money. So again, monetization. It's weird, but the point is, I'm playing it without that. I have a little companion. He's running around with me, and I'm playing a Diablo type game. So I don't know. It's got mixed reviews. People are like, I'm sure, frustrated with monetization again. I'm not thinking about that. I'm looking at the little systems. Like they have this rune system that's really fun. And I'm just fucking playing Diablo Immortal again. So I recommend it for anybody who actually somehow did like Diablo Immortal and wasn't scared away by the monetization. You can play it for free right now. It's fun.
And if you want a pet that'll sit there and watch you die unless you pay him money, I guess play this one too.
Yeah, my pet just watches me die. Like he doesn't.
My God.
He just kind of runs around. But also the graphics are really good. Like it's just again for a free game, I don't understand, people. Like, monetization sucks in this time right now for a lot of games. But if these developers are spending like this huge world for you to be in, it's similar to Fortnite in a way, right? You could go and fuck around and never spend money if you don't want to. You told me that.
Sure.
So this is not a Battle Royale, but it's a Diablo clone. And I shouldn't say that because it's their own game, but it's a Diablo-style hack and slash. And it's for free. So fuck around with it. That's all I'm saying. There you go.
It's for free. And then somebody out there, please tell me why it's called Undecember, because that's really weird to me.
I should look it up. Hold on. Something about evil gods and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares? They're against the spirit of Christmas or something. Who knows?
So that's Ungame 1, and I say check it out.
All right. Now, Underdungeon, I do know this one. In fact, I just bought it.
Oh, nice.
It's on sale on the Switch for like 85% off. I bought it for like $1.
Really? Holy
$1.25 or something like that. Yeah. So I saw it and I was like, I don't know if that's my jam or not, but like for like a buck. I mean, it was certainly not more than $2. I mean, at most it was like $1.99. And I'm like, okay, that's a very reasonable price. That's less than a terrible cup of Starbucks coffee. That's less than like a donut. I mean, I feel like I should probably go for it for that.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping you're about to tell me that it's actually good and I didn't waste my $2.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's like $12 on Steam. I think it's like $8 or $9 or $10 on consoles right now. I think I got on PlayStation, I'm guessing, or maybe Xbox. I might have got an Xbox actually. Ooh, look at that. Carl's playing an indie game that's not in Game Pass because it's not. It's a, you have to pay for it separately. Yeah. Anyways, it's totally worth the money. And what is this game? There's a positive and a negative. The only negative is, because as I describe it, it's like a top-down Zelda-like game, but it's all in black and white. And so that's the only negative, is that it's super pixely. I don't know how it will look on the Switch. That's where you're going to play it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I saw the screenshot. It looks okay. It looks really, really like lo-fi 2D.
It's the most lo-fi you can get. Like it almost is like CGA, but it's just black and white, right? So it's not even CGA.
Yeah.
But it's like the pixels are pretty big, so it's kind of tough to look at sometimes. That's all I'm saying. That's the only con, because it's so old school looking graphics that I'm playing it on my TV, and when you blow those up, they can be kind of weird.
Yeah. So maybe it'll look better small. Who knows?
It might look better small is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. That said, I'm still playing it because the controls are tight and it's just a really fun game. So you control this little cat character with a sword, and again, similar to Legend of Keepers, they do a really smart job of your job. It's like a corporation thing, right? It's like you have an office and everything. Your job is to answer the phone and to like deliver packages or whatever. And you're in this office with like a water cooler, and monsters are around, like just hanging out. And then you go and do adventures by have to deliver these packages. So when you're in the office, you can like go talk to people and like get like dialogue and stuff. And every time you finish a run, it's kind of like a roguelike thing in a way. You come back to the office and like there might be different things in the office. Like this robot was there and it was turned off, and then I came back after I beat this boss and the robot was on, so I was talking to the robot for a while. You know what I mean? Like just different things in the office are changed. That's fun. Yeah. And I just like that being the hub. It's like real world type situation. There's bosses and stuff. And so then, when you get a package, you basically decide to go on a run, like a roguelike kind of run, and you go to a place. It's obviously going to be like a dungeon or overworld type thing like Zelda, but it's with the ruse of like some interesting, funny story. And it's like comedy, and it's a light touch of comedy, but I think that's the best way to do this, because, you can't like make it tons of jokes, but they do a really good job of making everything kind of comical. Like say I'm in a dungeon area and, like any roguelike or even like Zelda, you get to the end of a dungeon, you got to beat a boss or something. But on the way there, the dungeon, by the way, could also be a forest, right? Like that could be considered a dungeon.
Yeah.
You're going through a forest and you get to the end somewhere. But wherever you are, forest or actual dungeon or castle or house, because there's lots of different places that are considered dungeons, lots of times there's a casino, and you just can go into a casino area.
Just like real life. Casino
like real life,
forest.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And then in that casino, you can like bet your money and like play little casino games. And, it's good to have money because then you could buy more equipment and stuff. So that was kind of fun. And then, like one of them was like go to a mansion, and like the little character was like, I can't get in the mansion because Ghost took it over. And it felt almost like Luigi's Mansion in a way. and I had to do something to get in, and then there's ghosts I had to fight. And it's just really inventive and smart. But the gameplay itself is like straight up Zelda, like old school Legend of Zelda.
Old school, like NES Legend of Zelda.
NES Legend of Zelda, complete with bombs and secret rooms, right? And you go into an area, it's like a little, box, and kill monsters before you can leave kind of style. But then they mix that together with this really cool system of going back to the hub, upgrading a little bit. And also when you die, you meet death. And death says you can pay money to respawn right where you were, which is really helpful in these kind of games. Because think of it like it was a roguelike when you want to just like respawn right away.
Right, just one more chance.
Yeah. Keep going. And then if you don't, which by the way, this has never happened to me yet because I'm surprisingly good at this game. If you die enough times, death will be like, okay, we're going to do a contract with you because obviously you don't have any more money. And that does something negative. But I don't know what
payment plan with interest.
It's a payment plan, but I think it might like hurt your abilities or take something away from you. But I've luckily never had that happen. I've always had enough money to pay death off. That's a funny title, paying death off. So I haven't got to the contract yet. So I've been lucky. But yeah, you got to do it until you can beat a boss. And I've beaten like 3 bosses so far in different zones. So I recommend it. It's such a weird, pleasant find. Again, what you said earlier, like mixing two things. You're mixing Legend of Zelda with a roguelike with a hub world and comedy.
I mean, that sounds like a win, dude. And like I just said, I bought it for like less than $2 on the Switch. That sounds like a great deal. I don't know if it's that deal on console, but I mean, regardless, I mean, this definitely sounds like a win, whether it's full price is what, $10 or something like that?
Yeah, it's like $10 or $12.
Even at full price, that sounds like a win for sure. That sounds really neat. Well, I guess I'm glad I took advantage of that sale, and I'm glad that I didn't waste that $2. It sounds like a fun one.
It's really fun, and then you get more abilities. Like I didn't even mention that, but like you keep picking up things. I don't think they go away. Like lots of times in roguelikes, they'll just be for that run. I don't think they do. That's right. There's permanence in the fact that like you might find later on a grappling hook or the ability to jump, by the way, which in the beginning you don't have. And there's these pits and you can just fall in the pit and die. But if you have jumping boots, which you get later, you can just jump over everything. And yeah, I'm positive now. The things you get, those items, you keep them.
Oh, okay, good.
And so that makes it, again, more fun because you go to the next, dungeon or whatever.
Sure, you get some permanence progression.
Yeah, you just feel like you have more options to fight monsters and to not die. And those pits are everywhere. So once you get like things like the grappling hook and stuff, you feel much more equipped. So, I mean, I can't explain how fun it is. It's just really relaxing and fun. And they call it the one-bit graphics.
I mean, that makes sense based on what it looks like. So I guess that's a good description. Yeah.
So highly recommend both those games. I recommend Underdungeon more because I think it's just a full-fledged, awesome game. But
all right, cool. That one definitely sounds like a win for sure. So check that one out.
Check it out.
All right. Let me talk about a game that many people have been telling me to play for a while now. John from Gaming in the Wild and a bunch of people, Game Critics, were telling me to play it, and a bunch of people from Twitter were saying that they wanted me to play it. So I played it. And we're going to talk about it right now. It is Inscryption.
Oh, I told you about what about me? Come on.
You're right here. You're right here.
I know, but you left me off the list. I've been saying that for the whole time.
So Inscryption is coming from the guy, I think his name is Daniel Mullins, I believe. I'm pretty sure he did like Pony Island and a couple of other games that are kind of well known for subverting their genre a little bit. Like it starts out as one kind of game and then it kind of becomes another kind of game. That's kind of his jam, it seems like. This is a deck builder, sort of deck builder. Like it's a card game, kind of a deck builder, where you are trapped in a cabin with like a psycho killer and he's forcing you to play card games with him. And your cards are animals. There's like a stoat and a stink bug and bees and all sorts of different animals on your cards, and some of them talk to you and they're like, hey man, this is messed up, I don't want to be in this card game. And you're kind of in this dark cabin just kind of figuring this out. So that's the basic premise, and then he kills you if you lose. I've died several times and it's pretty creepy. And then you start off, I guess, as like a new victim. It was kind of unclear, but I'm supposing it is a new victim is what it seems like. So that's the basic premise. Carlos, remind me, what did you think of this game?
I really liked because I had no idea of what it was going in. I don't know if you did either because you just
I had
were
heard
told to play it.
just Twitter buzz, you know.
Okay, because I really enjoyed the darkness of it, the kind of like having the characters, like you said on the cards, like pit you against other characters.
Yeah,
like just the indecisiveness of what was going on. I liked, and then without spoiling it, because I guess we really shouldn't spoil much. And I didn't beat it per se, but I got the experience of what they were doing. There's like, it keeps changing, you know, like the game keeps letting you do different things. What's that game that there's another game that we played and did that same thing. Oh, I'm not going to remember now, but you know, when you have a game and you go, oh, the game's not just this, it's other things.
Yeah.
I mean, we could say one, which I think has already been talked about, which is, can I say one? I could say one.
I mean, I don't know. I am still playing it, so don't spoil me.
Well, have you?
I'm not too far.
Maybe you don't know what I'm about to say then.
Now hold off. Don't spoil anything because I don't know.
You say more words and then I'll say words.
Yeah, you gauge where I'm at based on what I say.
Okay.
So a lot of people, including Carlos, wanted me to play this, and it initially, I mean, okay, so like it's a weird prospect, right? It's a strange thing. I had heard people talk about it. I knew just the premise, right? And I know this guy's work. I knew it was coming from him, so I kind of knew what to expect. So I love weird games. I love indie games. I love deck builder. I play basically every deck builder that comes to console, so I'm very familiar with the genre. And this is a weird game because it's sort of like a deck builder, but you don't have any of the things that would let you engage with it as a normal deck builder. Like, you don't have the ability to go back and like refine your deck. And it's also a roguelike, so as you're going through, kind of like a Slay the Spire kind of thing, and there's a map, you choose which node you want to go to. You go there's an event. Sometimes you get a power up, sometimes you get an item, sometimes it's a battle, sometimes it's a trick, you never know. So I think that structure is pretty good, but I feel a little bit frustrated in the sense that, like, the setting is interesting and that this serial killer is making you play this game with him. Feels a little bit like Hand of Fate in that way, where there's this guy who's kind of like taunting you and he wants you to play the game, and he's better because he's cheating and he knows all the rules and you're still kind of learning the game. And of course you're going to die a few times. You can also get up from the game and walk around this dark ass fucking spooky cabin that he's in. And it's not very large, but there's all sorts of puzzle stuff around, like a clock that obviously needs to have its hands manipulated. There's like a puzzle box and some other things where if you figure out those puzzles, they give you like an advantage when you come back to the game. It's pretty cool and well put together, but I do feel frustrated playing it because being someone who knows so much about deck builders and plays so many of them, I feel like I want more options, or I feel like I want more control over my deck, and you don't really have that much control, which is probably part of the experience, I'm sure. Learning it was kind of weird, and I sometimes make some mistakes where I think something works one way, but then it doesn't, and it's real sketchy about how you lay your cards. And so I've had a couple missteps that kind of irked me a little bit. But at the same time, I know that it's not just a deck builder, right? Because it's a Daniel Mullins game. I'm expecting that something weird's going to happen. And a few things already have happened. I'm not going to spoil them, but a few things happen that are clearly outside the realm of a deck builder and clearly outside the realm of being in a cabin with this serial killer. Like, some things happen where it's like, okay, clearly something else is going on. And I keep waiting for the reveal, right? So I can't really get myself into the game of the cards because I'm waiting for the hook. I'm waiting for the twist, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, just get on with the twist so I can figure out what the rest of your story is. But you actually have to play the card game. But I get frustrated playing the card game because I don't have that much control over the card game as much as I normally would. And so I feel frustrated because the story isn't advancing fast enough for my taste. And I'm also frustrated because I have to play this card game in a very constrained and slow way. And I mean, it's interesting, and I'm not disliking it, but I just feel like I know that something's going to happen, and I'm just waiting for that shoe to drop so I can start playing the real game, I guess, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
And I think I'm kind of with you on that because, again, I didn't beat it, but I just remember when I played it, again, had no idea what it was. And I didn't even know that, like, that guy's games before. What's other stuff he's done?
Pony Island was the first one, but he's done a couple other ones.
Totally makes sense. Yeah. See, if I would have known that, actually, I probably would have. Yeah, because this game isn't a card game. That's the thing. This is a horror game. It's a weird horror game that makes no sense, and it's really a war of attrition to play the gameplay of it. Yeah, so I think that's what you're feeling, and I feel that I think I feel the same way. But because the characters and the cards talk, it makes it more fun because you don't know what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
I feel like, so I'm just kind of playing it. And now you talking about it, I'm going to try to see if I can go back and beat it because I do want to know what the ending is. But you're just playing it to kind of see how the story is going to play out. And you already mentioned the big reveal was that you could leave the table. Like, I didn't know that in the beginning.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that just made it feel like more like, oh, anything's possible, in this world now.
Yeah.
But it's not like you said. You still have to go back and play cards a bunch.
Yeah.
So the game itself, I agree that the gameplay is just that. But I am interested if there's like a third act that would blow us away,
Yeah. And to be fair, I mean, I think the game itself is good. I honestly would play the card game if it was just a card game without all of the other spooky, weird meta stuff going on. I think it's a pretty solid game and pretty fun, but I would want like more features, right? Like I would want to be able to like change my cards up and like, do things to make a deck on my own and stuff.
Yeah, but he doesn't want that.
He doesn't want that. He doesn't want that, right? So I think it's to his credit that I think the card game, he is a smart and skilled enough developer. He's making this horror game, and he also threw in a card game that I think the card game is good enough to be its own game, in addition to the horror game, which is, clearly a good game. So, I mean, props to that dude. He's getting it done, right? I mean, just because it's not to my taste doesn't mean it's not well done. But there's like a meta going on of when you die that you can create a card, and usually you're leaning on that special card when you die to get you through the next round, which is fine. But I will say I am a little bit frustrated by the puzzles because they tell you at one point, one of the talking cards says, "Hey man, here's a secret. I'm not going to spoil it, but here's a secret. Go do this thing." And it kind of prompts you to get up from the table and go do that. And I did that, and it seemed like, oh, okay, I'm on a little daisy chain of events here. And I got to one particular event, and I couldn't figure it out. I didn't know. It's like I knew what to do, but I just got stuck, and I couldn't figure out how to make it unstuck. And I thought it was a glitch, or maybe I just wasn't supposed to do something. And to be perfectly honest, I went to an FAQ because I got frustrated because nothing was moving forward. I felt like the story wasn't moving forward and I wasn't getting better at the game. And if I had figured that puzzle out, it would have given me something that would have been super useful. And I guess what I needed to do was like back out of that puzzle and then come back in to let it reset. I didn't figure out how it worked, and they didn't explain how it worked. And so I pushed something wrong and it stuck, and I figured, oh, I guess I'll just come back. And then 3 hours later go by, and I should have figured that puzzle out 3 hours ago. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of a bummer. I think it's interesting. I think it's cool, but I feel just largely frustrated in general. And I really want things to move forward. And I think a lot of that is because the story's not moving forward, and I feel like my gameplay is not moving forward. So I need to figure out what my next step is. Probably solving that puzzle will be my next step. And then hopefully things will get rolling again, and I'll start to feel like I'm making progress. Because right now it feels like I'm just playing the card game over and over and over, and I'm not. Nothing's to show for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. If it's a short experience, I think, and maybe it still is, and maybe both of us just haven't powered through enough. But like, the shorter the experience of that thing would make it better for me.
I agree. Yes. So I think I looked up how long to beat it, and they're saying like 12 hours, and I'm like, okay, that feels like too long for this game. But I'm still in. I'm still playing it. I got to make some kind of progress because I'm just really stuck, and hopefully that'll get my juices flowing again, and then I'll be back in to keep going. But it does look like you need to actually beat the card game. And just real quick side note. One of the FAQs I looked at real quickly was written by somebody. I'm not going to name names, but this person wrote the FAQ as if this is the fucking easiest game in the world, and it's so easy to break this, and this is so not challenging, and here's what you do, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, wow. Way to really talk down to your audience, way to really demean everybody who's coming to you for help, rather than taking the road of, yeah, it took me a long time to learn this, and I figured this thing out, and I did all this hard work. They just wrote it like, oh, this is so easy, blah, 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 and just break the game. So what? Just power through it. You're going to beat it like 9 times in a row. And I'm like, okay, clearly not. Otherwise, I mean, if I did that, I wouldn't be reading your fucking FAQ.
Well,
Mr. So goddamn smart.
The easy answer to that is not everybody is a good communicator, and also a ton of people don't even want to be. Like, that just sounds like a younger person wanting to be like, "This, hey, dude, this is what I did. Just do this."
Yeah, just do this,
and just like a regular talking.
Just hit the boss and don't get hit. Fucking simple, you noob.
Yeah.
So anyway, that kind of pissed me off. Again, I'm not trying to shame anybody. I'm not trying to put a target in anybody's back, but like, wow, I read that FAQ and I was like, you're pissing me off, motherfucker, because you're talking down to me so hard. I didn't appreciate that. But anyway, whatever. Moving on, small side note. It has nothing to do with the game itself. I think it's an interesting game. I'm going to keep trying. But right now, just kind of frustrated.
All right. Well, I'll go back to it and see if we can both talk about it later.
All right, cool. All right, back to you for The Vagrant, which I had no idea what it was until I looked it up earlier before the show. So I kind of got a vague idea about The Vagrant, but tell us about it, Carlos.
Yeah, so this is an older game. Again, this is the theme of one of the themes of the show. The games that come out on Steam and then later come out on console. I saw The Vagrant pop up on PlayStation Store, and I was like, "Oh, cool! It looks like Vanillaware." And I say that most people listening should know what that means. 2D side-scrolling, hack and slash type game with some RPG elements, leveling up, etc. Just really fun gameplay. That's what Vanillaware does, and that's what OTK Games does. That's who makes this.
Okay.
Very similar style. Also, I believe Japanese company. They basically do that. Not the cell shaded, but like what would you call that art style?
I mean, it kind of looks like a painterly art style.
Painterly art style.
Yeah,
That's
a little
good,
bit, a little bit.
And side-scrolling hack and slash, slow-mo when you do huge combos. Just, it's hard to do that gameplay good, and when you do it well, it just feels really good to play those style of games, I think, for me. So I saw it pop up in PlayStation Store, and I was like, oh, I'll check this out. But before I bought it, I went back to Steam to say, maybe I have this game already. And I do have this game.
Oh, man. I've been through that experience so many times. I'm going to buy this. Wait a minute. I already own this.
I already own it. Also, I played an hour and a half of it, which I did. But I went back to the beginning just to kind of start it all fresh again on my Steam game, which, by the way, on Steam right now, at the time of this recording, is 79 cents.
Wow.
For The Vagrant.
Wow.
I think they're doing that because they just released another game, and it's called Detained, Too Good for School. And
they've got a theme going. They've got The Vagrant, and they've got somebody who's clearly a truant. I mean, what's next?
Well, it looks cool because the new one is kind of that a little bit different style, more cartoony style, but it's like definitely hack and slash as well, but it's like a beat 'em up. And it, just... There's a little bit of sexiness in both these games, like in the fact that, the characters
Sexy Vagrant?
Sexy Vagrant. They're low-cut everything. Like, tons of women have low-cut, clothing.
So just to be clear, your character is a anime booby girl. It's not like a homeless guy off the street.
No, you're not. It's not Hobo Life. Is that the game you played, Hobo Life?
Hobo Life. Well, where does Vagrant come in then?
Her name is Vivian the Vagrant, and she basically... What? It's Vivian the Vagrant.
That's hilarious. That sounds like a porno or something.
Oh. Well, there's definitely, like, again, this is like the art style. You can't think of it too sexy because it's like you said, kind of painterly. Yeah. And the characters are like not full-size adults, so sometimes it looks kind of chibi in a way. Okay. So I don't ever think of it as sexy, but yeah.
It's okay to be attracted to little people. I mean, they need love
I know.
Too.
It's just like the style of art is like all the characters look like, I don't know, just a little bit different. And then they're all, a ton of the women have, the boobs showing up everywhere. It just almost seems silly because it doesn't really fit like a lot of it. But anyways, the gameplay itself is, you basically are trying to figure out, the past and stuff like that, the classic beginning of a story. And you're in these towns and you're doing missions for people. It's really just the game's an excuse to kind of run around and you just hit things, level up, and the leveling system feels really good. And then you're kind of like caught up in a bunch of other stories that are happening. I'm being very vague right now. But yeah, it's relaxing and fun, and I bring it to the show just because, on Steam it's 79 cents, ridiculous. But these style of games are so fun to me. They call it hand-painted. That's what it is on the description.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Sure.
And the weapons feel fun, and I just feel like everything just feels like a joy. Like, it's just super fun to play. And I'm playing, by the way, the Xbox controller on my Steam, PC, so the controller is just really, really fun. So I don't want to see too much of the gameplay. There is a kind of interesting intro on who you are and stuff like that. You're looking for your lost father, and there's a thing, but there's a huge kind of thing that happens at the beginning. I just want people to experience it for themselves. So, 2D action RPG, Vagrant, The Vagrant. I think people should check it out.
All right, check it out. All right, there you go. All right, I'm going to talk about a game that came out of nowhere for me. Kind of like my experience with Elder Sign Omens, where I just had the itch out of the blue of like, oh, I really enjoyed that game back in the day. I want to play it again. Same for this one. I was going through my PS5 library. You can go all the way to the end of the toolbar, and you've got your library. And I was like, oh, I should probably clear some space off because my son wanted to download a couple games. So I went to go see what I could clear some space off, and I'm like, oh shit, I still got like a lot of games here that I want to play that I completely forgotten about, right?
Hey, have you ever used that feature that we talked about where you can make like your chain pile or something?
No, I haven't done anything
in
like
the PlayStation store. They let you make those playlists. That's cool.
No, I mean, yeah, I have not explored that yet. I just what I do generally now these days, my new MO is I'll download a game, and if I want to play it again, I'll leave it on the hard drive. And if you can archive it like you can on the Switch, for example, where you can delete the game, but you leave the icon so that you still have the game, but you're not taking up the space. I think that's really cool. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you can do that on PlayStation or not. But
well, yeah, everything's just in your library forever.
True, but I have it set. Maybe I should look into the folder thing. Anyway, regardless, I just keep a separate list. It's not my full library. It's just like my smaller library of games that I want to come back to. And this was in there, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I forgot about this game. And I desperately want to come back. It's Desperados III from Me Studios. You ever play this one?
I think we definitely mentioned it on the show.
We have, yeah.
I think I played it. I think I had a problem with its difficulty. If that's
I don't think this is a Carlos game, really. I
wouldn't
recommend this one.
I like the setting, and I think the style of gameplay.
Yeah.
But I think I remember being frustrated by the difficulty.
It's super hard. So this is isometric, third person, kind of a top-down Diablo-ish sort of a like old school Diablo, or I guess old school Fallout or something. All my references are super dated. Like, don't listen to me. But isometric. You take a group of 5 people in the Wild West. You start off with like your regular cowboy guy. There is a really big buff trapper kind of a guy, fur trapper guy. There is a Doc Holliday, kind of a slick gambler kind of a guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There is a voodoo lady, and then there is a pretty lady who is like kind of a charmer. She distracts people, and she's got a little derringer and stuff. And so each of these people have their own skill set. They have different abilities, different strengths. Some of them run faster. Some of them can climb. Some of them can't. Some of them can swim. Some of them can't. Some of them are really good at hiding dead bodies, and some of them are not so good. And so you have this crew of like, Western folks, and there's this whole story of course, Western. So it's like revenge and injustice and money being stolen, and then there's sand and tumbleweeds and that kind of thing. I played this when it came out a couple years ago, and I loved it. But the thing is, it is a really, really difficult game. I'm sure the guy that wrote that FAQ thinks it's the easiest game ever, but fuck that guy.
He's like, all you gotta do is just beat it. What's wrong with you?
Just beat the game. Just shoot the guys. Just go. Don't get shot. Easy. Fucking easy. Anyway, it's a really difficult game, and it's the kind of thing where, like, Me is a great developer, and they have honed this system, and I don't think anybody else does games exactly like they do. This is also, I think, ground that they mined in Shadow Tactics, Blade of the Samurai.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing when it came out. I fucking love Shadow Tactics.
Love that game.
And this is kind of in the same vein. They went bigger and harder on this one, which is fine. But when I played it, I put like, I want to say like 30, 40 hours into it. And I had to bounce because I had a bunch of other review responsibilities. So I always figured I'd come back to it. But what I didn't realize, I stopped it like literally 2 levels from the end. And I'm like, oh, I came back to it thinking I had like half the campaign left over. And then I look it up and I'm like, oh shit, I've only got 2 levels left. Plus the DLC. So I'm like, okay, I gotta finish this. I love this game. And I gotta say, it's been a real joy to come back to it. The hook of this game is not only do you have a team of 5 people, you move them, you can switch between all 5 at any time once you add them to your team. And there's all sorts of enemies all across the map. They show you the view cones of where the enemies are looking. They tell you their alert status. I mean, they give you like all the information. And that's what I like about this game, is there's no secrets. There's no hiding. There's no trick. It's just about, are you paying attention enough? Are you strategizing enough? Like, is your plan working or is it not working? And they never do a gotcha, like, which is great. It doesn't make the game any easier because it's still hard as fuck, but I appreciate that they play fair. The other thing about this game that I think is great is you have a mode where you can pre-program moves for your teammates and then execute them all at once. And that's really what gets you through a lot of situations. So for example, if you're trying to get through a courtyard and there's like, I don't know, 3 guards that are standing guard, one of your teammates, he could shoot one, but the other 2 are going to shoot him while he's shooting that first guy. Or maybe like you stab one guy, but the other guys rush you. Like, there's no way for like one person to just get through it. So what you do is you get your team nearby, and then you'll say, you go into like planning mode. think it's called showdown mode or something like that. You say, okay, cowboy, I want you to stab this guy in the back. And then pretty woman, I want you to throw perfume in this guy's face. And then fur trapper guy, I want you to just punch this guy. And then once you have it all queued up, you go back to the regular game and you push just one button and then everybody does their thing at the same time.
Oh, there's another game that's like that. I can't remember what that is, but I've seen that kind of style before.
I mean, it's very possible. There are some earlier games in this genre, which I'm not familiar with because they're usually mostly PC. So there may be something. I think somebody said... I want to say Commandos, but I don't think that's the right. I don't think that it's a military game. I think.
Yeah, there's a military Steam game. That's that.
Military Steam game, World War II game, same isometric, same sort of like cue your actions up kind of a thing. But I feel like Mimimi has got it down to like a science right now. So that's the thing that kind of gets you through it, being able to plan those moves. But the maps are huge. They're really detailed. I feel like using the characters is really fun. There's a lot of banter between the characters as you're going through the levels, which is nice. But it's tough, man. It's one of those games that they really, really want you to quick save. And I'm quick saving like every 5 seconds where I'm like, okay, I walked 5 steps, quick save. Got this one guy, quick save. Dispose of the body, quick save. So like, because stuff can go wrong. Like there's a lot of guys, you never know when someone's like, they catch you out of the corner of the eye, or maybe you thought you had a little bit of a dead zone, but you didn't have as much as you thought, or you thought you had more time to get across a courtyard and the guy turns around 1 second too soon. And then your whole thing just goes to shit, right? So like they definitely want you to quick save. They definitely want you to like experiment and see if that worked. If it didn't work, go back and try again. And it's kind of what makes the levels take so long. I mean, I think each level for me is about maybe like 3 hours long, which is pretty long for a level, right? So you got to be ready to have that kind of like real nitty gritty, like getting into your knees and just really like wading through this and trying to figure it all out. But I enjoy it. I think it's really well done. I love the characters, love the cast, I love the gameplay, and like nobody out there really does games like this on console the way that they do. So I'm glad I came back to this one. I'm glad that I remembered it existed, and I was actually really thrilled that I didn't delete my data, because being so close to the end, I went and did the tutorial real quick, and like within 5 minutes, I'm like, oh, that's right, I remember how this game works, and I jumped back in. Right. And it was like I had never left, so that was pretty cool. So overall, I love this game, man.
That was on PlayStation, you said?
Playing it on PS5, but it's on everything. I don't think it's on Switch. It's too small for Switch, but PlayStation, Xbox, PC.
But when you said you went back, you can't. It's difficult to delete the actual save data. So even if you deleted the game, you wouldn't have deleted the save data, because that's saved separately.
Yeah.
At least on PlayStation, cool. That's how it works.
And the good thing is you can choose mission select, right? So like I went back, I chose level 1, did that little bit. Got my feet, back into it, and then I went back to like level 11 or 12 or whatever it was,
exactly.
Just started over. So it's really cool. They give you a lot of options. There's also a lot of DLC. I think there's 3 DLC missions. There's also bonus missions you can do in the core missions. And I'm pretty sure that in one of the missions you play as a chicken, which I am very, very excited about. I'm really stoked to be a chicken in this game. So,
yeah, I think I played them back in the day. This style of game is very PC, and I don't think I'm in the mood for them right now, but I think that, like you said, they do it really, really well, and especially on console, it's a very rarity. So,
oh yeah, controls are great. I mean, you're right though. You got to be in the mood. This is not something. It's not easygoing. It's not a fun play. I mean, it kind of is, but it's also work. It's also getting frustrated. It's also getting killed 1,000 times. So if you're in the mood for that, like really want to crunch through the strategy and get a plan going and kill some dudes in the Wild West, this game's fucking dope, dude. And also, similar shout out to Shadow Tactics, which is a samurai Japan theme. Samurai Tactics, fucking awesome. Do this with Samurai Ninja. Desperados, do the same thing with Cowboys. Fucking amazing. I love these fucking games.
And I think I enjoyed Shadow Tactics for some reason differently than Desperados. I don't know what it was, but I don't know. I played it on Steam, I believe. By the way, there's a demo of Shadow Tactics on Steam right now.
Oh, check that out, man. Yeah. It's definitely a little bit... I mean, it's pretty similar to Desperados. I think Desperados has a few things that are a little bit more smoothed out, but also I think they go harder and longer. So maybe Shadow Tactics is a better place to start. But they're about on par in terms of difficulty. They're both real difficult, but if you enjoy the tactics, these are like the tops, dude. They're the best.
Check them out.
All right. That's it for me for this show. But you've got one or maybe 2 more things to talk about, Carlos, and I gotta admit, I was pretty surprised to see you bring to the show an Elder Scrolls roundup. What the fuck?
Yeah, this all started because I was watching this YouTuber, It's Will, and he just like certain YouTubers, you just like their reactions and how they play games and just the funny comedy they do. And he was fucking around with Morrowind. And now, really quick backstory. I played every Bethesda game ever. Beat almost all of them. But I never beat Morrowind because of reasons that I'm sure you're aware of.
Did you play it on PC?
I played Morrowind on PC, yeah. I played Daggerfall on PC as well.
God, Morrowind was a shit show on Xbox, dude. That was terrible.
Well, in general, everything right now is better, right? Like all the emulation stuff that I'm playing on Series X, that you can get the whole Bethesda catalog on Game Pass, which is good. And so you can download Morrowind, you can download Oblivion. And, it just, cutting to the chase on Xbox Series X, everything's smooth as shit.
Well, that's cool. That's good.
Like, there's still, like, obviously the real bugs that are in the game, but
Yeah.
It's not like probably its original way that people try to play it. But I've played it probably really clunky on PC as well. But I was watching It's Will play Morrowind, and it's just funny because, those open world games, which I have a tangent that I'm going to end on, that I still love, that Bethesda does, that other companies still can pull off, I think is a rarity where you can, like I said with Last of Us, something that I want to see more in games, which is like, hey, let me, fuck around with your world a little bit and figure out how I want to play this. And then allowing, the developers allowing for those crazy things to happen, as well as having NPCs. I sound like a broken record, like Ultima 7 and some other earlier AI dungeon games, or even MUDs and stuff like that, did back then that they're still not doing today, because you get a modern game like an Ubisoft game or whatever, it's all very rigid, although Far Cry 6 was pretty good when it's open world. I'm going on many tangents. The point is, I was watching him play Morrowind, and it was really fun because I just saw all that ridiculousness that can happen in a Bethesda game, right? He was like trying to buy like weird drugs from a guy so he could power himself up to go to the arena and like win fights because he was on drugs. Like, that's just a thing that happened, right?
Sure.
And me watching that, I was like, oh my goodness, and I never beat Morrowind. Let me go back. So this is a quick mini review of Morrowind and Oblivion, because I, believe it or not, didn't beat Oblivion. Did you?
Really? Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did beat Oblivion, and I did some other stuff too. Yeah,
I'm not sure if I did. So that's one of those things where I know I got really far, but anyways, I went back to Morrowind, and I remember what the problem with Morrowind is. It's beautiful in the fact that it's so massive, it's so open. As soon as I went back into it on Xbox, it was just like, yeah, just do whatever you want. Like, there's hardly any main story, and that's like a double-edged sword, because it's like, how am I supposed to progress? But I did find it fun, and I was like, found this little cave, and I was just fighting monsters. But the combat, I think you could technically say it's bad, or objectively bad, because
it's objectively bad.
Well, here's why it's objectively bad. I can say it because they were trying to use pen and paper rules for their combat. This is a real-time combat game, right?
Yes.
So you would just hit things for a long time, and nothing would happen.
Right.
And then you get a hit in because
they're kind of doing the roll behind the scene,
yes,
even though your sword is hitting the dude. Yeah.
So what they did in Oblivion better is that they hid that a little better, or they fudged the numbers a bit or something, because they let you hit things more often, even if you just started with a weapon. So I noped out of Morrowind mainly because of the combat, because I was like, I don't feel like I'm progressing enough, and I'm doing a lot, So I don't know if I'll ever beat that game. But the reason I'm bringing Oblivion to the show is because that game is fucking beautiful, perfect. I think it might even be better than Skyrim in some places. Like, Skyrim's graphically better, but I didn't really care for the main story of Skyrim. I think we've talked about that. It's kind of a throwaway thing. It's more about like what you do in that world and just make your own fun.
Yeah.
And Oblivion's the same way. Like, I think the main story is better because it's like fucking portals that open up and demons. And you immediately get thrown into it, right? Remember that first town that's like being destroyed, and you have to go fight monsters right away.
Vaguely, it's kind of lost in the mist in history for me. It's been a while. It's been a minute.
It's got a great beginning, that classic, like you're stuck in a dungeon or as a prisoner, and you get out. But the minute you get out, you're like, whoa, this open world. The graphics aren't as good, but it doesn't matter. This game is so smart. The things they're doing in this game, again, similar to Ultima 7, they're not doing in modern games. Simple things like people having schedules, right? They just don't. They have much more non-believable schedules in modern games, I feel like. Here's an example. One of the side missions was this guy, and I don't think you have done this side mission because, again, these games are so massive. Who knows if you did it? But this little guy, and he was like paranoid that his neighbors were watching him. Do you know the story?
And this does not sound familiar, no.
Oh, okay. So it speaks to what I'm talking about with the NPCs. I go, okay, fuck it. I'm bored. Let's do it. So he goes, okay, do this. Watch my friend or watch my neighbor Bernadette. She gets up at 6 a.m. Go watch her the whole day and then report back to me if she's like watching me. Like, you know. So I had to go and follow the NPC's movement the whole day.
Okay.
And so I watched her. And by the way, here's what Bernadette did. She went to the fields in the morning and she worked for a couple hours. Then she went and had lunch for a couple hours.
Very leisurely lunch.
Long lunch. But then she went to another work site, which is somebody's backyard, and worked there for like 3 hours straight. And then had a break and talked with some guy, and I listened to their conversation. And again, AIs talking to each other organically. It wasn't scripted, right? This guy just walked by her, and she's like, have you heard the Dark Brotherhood? And they just talked about rumors for a while, right? And then he left. He's like, I got to get going. And then she just sat there and like contemplated for a while. Like I just watched her like sit there. And then she went home and went to bed. And so I met to the guy and I go, yeah, dude, she's not watching you. It's in your head, you know?
Yeah.
Cut to the chase, and a spoiler for Oblivion. He had me track down all the people, like a ton of neighbors. And I watched them, and I got to see how I like this game because it's building all these really cool NPC behaviors. But they were all not watching him. It was all in his head. None of them.
He was just super paranoid.
So what he did is he goes, oh, you're one of them, aren't you?
Of course he is.
And so he attacked me, and I had to kill him. And when I killed him, I think there was another way to do it, by the way. Like I could have broken into his house and like somehow coerced him. But I killed him. And so after I killed him, I took the key, and now his house is my house.
Nice. Just like in real life.
Yeah, just like in real life. And by the way, he was a hoarder. And so now I'm using his house to hoard all my stuff.
Nice.
So I just like throw all my shit in there.
Excellent.
That one experience is almost better than a ton of experiences in any side mission I've played in any modern game. I mean, just hands down, motherfucker. Like I'm here to say Bethesda, and that's why I believe in Starfield. Hopefully they're going back to their roots with this. But that's why Skyrim sold a million times. You know, me going back to play Oblivion reminded me. That's what I think it resonates with so many people just on a human level. Like if you can make a game about these little moments that we're all used to, right? And this is a big diatribe, but like every day is a weird question mark. You know what the fuck's going to happen. And if you make a game that embodies that, that is fascinating. And I feel like that's what these games are. And that's why I'm playing Oblivion again. I think I might have beat it. I can't even remember now. But it doesn't even matter because I never did that story, right? I never listened to that guy and his crazy talk.
Right.
And that was endlessly fun. I mean, bro, 5 hours went by.
Sure.
I just turned it on and I was like, oh shit, it's 1 a.m. Like what other game has done that to me, you know? So here's my huge thing of like, hey everybody, go get Oblivion, which is on Xbox.
You probably already own it like 4 times.
You probably do. But I just think that, yeah, I'm going to play through this motherfucking game. Like, it's just, I'm going to chill with it until Starfield's out.
Do it.
But, man, I just want more games to take those chances with NPCs, with AI behavior. Again, this is dated, and it's still doing better things. Imagine, like, with better graphics and the stuff I just talked about with Last of Us Remake, you know? I want Last of Us Remake world and graphics to have the stuff that Oblivion has.
Yeah.
That's a long-winded explanation, but I had to get through it because it impressed it so much on me. You know, I was like, this is really, truly special what I'm playing.
I mean, it goes to show that there is still lots of territory out there for developers to explore, right? Like, you know, these type of quests, the kind of incidental things that happen, you know, just like being able to take things at your own pace, pursue whatever stories you like. And then have these weird, you know, emergent things crop up. I mean, it's great when it happens. I mean, there's lots of fun stories that happens. I mean, I'm not much of a fan of these games as you are, but like similar with like Fallout, right? Like it's not as open. But like with the Fallout games that were the 3D Fallouts, like especially like New Vegas or something, where like something weird will happen, or you'll meet a person that you didn't know was there, and you kind of pursue your own goals for a while. I mean, that can be really fulfilling if you're clicking with the game. So I totally get what you're saying, man. That makes perfect sense to me.
Well, I'll end with this, and yeah, I think that Fallout does something interesting, but I feel like after Skyrim, it's like with Fallout 4 and stuff like that. They remember 4 had all that building stuff, which I didn't like. But yeah, I think they simplified when it comes to NPCs and AI behavior.
Yeah, they did.
Part of it is because of bugs, right? Because you build something so advanced and you start having really weird ass things happen. I would just rather have the weird things and accept them, But I feel like they curtail it by, dumbing down the behavior systems.
Well, so I mean, I agree with you, dude. I'm actually in the same boat as you because New Vegas is my favorite Fallout. And once Bethesda took over after New Vegas, I definitely feel like things got simpler. Like instead of so many weird things happening, like it was kind of pre-scripted. Like a lot of the quests became kind of cookie cutter. A lot of it became really straightforward. And to me, it kind of felt like more about just chewing through a lot of content rather than like exploring and having these weird interactions like you're describing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I prefer, like you're saying, the rougher, more kind of Wild West approach to developing a game like that, where maybe I think that's maybe a big reason why I like Elex as well, where the story is not as open, but like a lot of weird things can happen and a lot of strange unexpected things can happen. Maybe that's why you like Elex as well.
Yeah,
but I think that
so.
spirit is there, so I definitely feel you on that. And I think that's probably why I was less interested in Fallout 3, and from there even less interested than that in Fallout 4. So hopefully Starfield will maybe get back a little bit of that wild energy, perhaps. Maybe they're going to have some space physics or alien physics or something, and more weird NPCs. Because I would want that rather than just like a billion cookie cutter quests to chew through.
100%. And then remember, Oblivion, Morrowind, Skyrim, they are Bethesda, right? So they can do this.
But early Bethesda, though, right?
Yeah, earlier Bethesda. And to that point, what I was going to end with is there's a great documentary on YouTube that I did, again, similar to the game. Maybe I did beat Oblivion, I can't remember. But I'd seen this documentary and I forgot that I'd seen it. But it's just like the making of Oblivion. So just type in Making Oblivion. But it's put out by them, by Bethesda.
Oh, okay.
And I remember it because I've told this story on this podcast before, I think. But in the beginning of that video, they show early footage of an NPC woman in her house, and she's a magician or something, wizard. What's Lady Wizard? Sorceress. And she has a dog. Do you know the story?
I do not know the story. No.
Such a good story. This will end on this. The dog has its own AI behavior. Again, these are the things I'm talking about. And this is in the documentary on YouTube. The dog's running around, and the dog eats something. And if it eats something, a certain type of thing in the house, it gets energized and runs even more. It gets excited. And so it ate the thing, and the woman had her nighttime schedule, so she was trying to go to bed, the sorceress. So the dog wakes up the woman because he's hitting things are all around the house. He's running around like a crazy dog. So the sorceress stands up and puts the dog to sleep with a magic spell. Again, unprompted. This is not scripted event.
Just normal AI.
AI
that's what she would
behaviors.
do in that situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the dog wakes up because, of course, it's going to wake up from a sleep spell. Eats more of that fucking food. Runs around even more and goes crazy. The sorceress says, "I've had it." Stands up and burns him. Like shoots a fireball at the dog. And the dog runs away on fire out the door.
That's awesome.
That's fucking amazing just to watch that scene. That all happened from AI behavior, no scripting.
The emergent behavior, the AI. Yeah, I love when that stuff happens. It's really funny. It's really interesting. And like you said, of course, sometimes it leads to like weird shit happening or broken stuff happening or somebody walking into a wall or whatever. But like when it happens like that and you witness it, pretty amazing sometimes.
I think they can make a game that just had no main quest line, because a lot of times these are bugs that will fuck up a quest line. If you made a game that was just a true world, right, and you do all your own stories, because people always say that, like, oh, you make your own adventure. Well, no, this one would just be that. Right. Then you could keep all that shit in there because it wouldn't be fucking a quest line. Developers, exactly. That's an idea. And my long-winded thing is over, diatribe. I'm going to go play Oblivion after this.
All right, there we go. Well, an interesting look back. We didn't really plan this, but we ended up talking about quite a few older games this week, which I think is pretty cool. I'm down with that. We talk about it in the opening new stuff, old stuff, anything in between. And I definitely feel like we lived up to that this week. So cool.
Yeah.
Right on, right on. All right, folks. Just a couple things before we go here. These are where we talk about non-gaming related. You got anything before we go here, Carlos?
Well, I'll match up with you and say we both watched Jung-E.
Oh, yeah. You watched it too. Okay.
I watched it, but I didn't finish it because I had a problem with it.
What was your problem?
So
well, tell people what it is first.
It's kind of a sci-fi. Is it Korean? I believe it's Korean.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like live action sci-fi about AI. Again, talking about AI.
Yes.
AI and robots, and putting AI into robots, and taking people's likenesses and having, it's almost like the Singularity as well, having them live on in the kind of an AI setting.
Yeah.
And it's really about an organization who's basically trying to fight a war against robots with AI and that kind of thing. My main reason I noped out for now, but I'm probably going to go back because I'm sure I think you liked it, is I like the look of it. I like the graphics and stuff and the style and the idea of it. But the beginning, there's a character who's like working on the project and he's trying to be funny.
Oh, yeah, the director guy. Yeah,
he needs to fucking calm down. Like, it was like an hour of him doing his jokes or something.
Yeah.
So tell me that ends at some point, because I can't stand him.
It does end, and there is a reason that he's like that. Like, they talk about what's driving that guy and why he keeps fucking pushing the stupid bad comedy so much. You'll figure it out like once you get there. But it is not an accident. It's not just
okay, good, because it just felt like bad acting or something. I was like, what is going on with that guy?
It's bad acting on purpose, and it is for a purpose. Yes.
Okay, so I will finish it probably, but you can tell everybody else what you thought too. It's a cool idea.
Yeah, I think it's great. I'm not going to spoil anything, but this is from the same director as Train to Busan, which I fucking loved.
Oh, right, the zombie train game. Yeah.
Loved that movie. I was like, yeah, cool. Yeah. Everything's coming together these days, all this cross-media stuff. But yeah, Train to Busan was badass and really good, and so I loved it. And so I wanted to see this movie immediately. And I liked it. It was different than I thought, because from the trailers, it makes you think you're going to watch Korean Terminator, which there's a little bit of that, but it's not really about that. It's more like what Carlos said, where it's about ethics, AI, transhumanism, the singularity. How do you feel about these things? What is humanity's role in these things? I mean, it was pretty thoughtful, honestly, and I really liked the sensibility of it. It's definitely a very Korean film, and you can see the way that the culture addresses certain things differently than we would have done it here in America. Certain things go unsaid, but they are communicated with like a look or like with a certain camera angle. And I really appreciated that. It was pretty understated and pretty good. And by the end, I mean, I had some feels, man. Like I was like, oh man, that's fucking sad. Like this shit is sad, and I feel things right now, and I feel like what they explore in this film is really cool. So I don't want to spoil anything, but if you're interested in AI ethics, transhumanism, singularity, anything like that, what our future looks like. A lot of the robots in this film look very similar to the robots that are being put out by Boston Dynamics.
Yes.
Which is fucked up because we're going to all die from robot attacks soon. So anyway, it's a good film. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought it was very well done.
All right. Well, I will finish it. Probably today, actually, or tonight.
Right.
Another thing I'm watching on Netflix is, man, what a fucking cool concept. And I want to do this in the U.S. so bad. So hopefully maybe someday I can even produce a show like this. So it's called Last One Standing. It just came out because, it's been out, I think, in Japan for a while, and we just got the release on Netflix, and they're making a season 2 right now. But so what is it? It is a bunch of comedians. It's all subtitled. Japanese comedians in, this is hard to explain. It's a drama, an interesting drama that's shot like, it looks like a series, right? And then it looks like a series, and all these characters arrive at this school, and then they're in a classroom, and they're talking about like, it's kind of a mystery, And
is this like a reality show, or this
I'm
is
getting
like
there.
a
I'm getting there.
scripted
It
show?
takes
Okay.
a minute.
All right.
So it's scripted to a point. You're watching a series, and you're like, "What is this series? It's crazy." But there's also like Terrace House and like Love Wagon, which are shows I like. There's these hosts that are watching it with you.
Yes.
Which I love Japanese stuff. I just like the reality shows that do that. So there's 2 hosts that are watching this as you're watching it, and you can hear them commenting in the background. So they're watching this weird series take place. At its heart, it is a reality show, but it starts with scripted story about this kind of, fiction. And then you get all these people, different walks of life comedians in a room in the series. Then the series keeps being a series. Like it's there's no like break in character. Like they're all like themselves. But then they start telling stories, and each one has to tell a story that's funny. And so like the topic might be like this. It's so hard to explain, but the series like ends, and now there's no more scripted thing. They're all just in a room. And you were watching a series for a minute, and these guys, I guess, are all characters, but you know them as the comedians. They're real comedians. And so someone will say something like "painful journey," like that's the last scripted line, right? And now each person has to come up with a painful journey story that's funny, and they just keep telling him as long as you have a story, it has to be a real story that it really happened to you, and that's funny. And so then you can tell that other comedians will make each other laugh and stuff like that. And the hosts are laughing. And then whoever didn't make as many people laugh gets kicked off the show. But they get kicked off the show in a series way. So like the first guy that gets kicked off, like a character comes in and takes him out. Right? It's hard to explain, I know.
This whole thing is giving me anxiety, man. This is all just
it's
like
actually
making me
super
crazy.
fucking fun. Okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
It
then
sounds like stressful to me.
After that happens, like they do more series stuff. So then there's more of the scripted series. And then episode 2 will be scripted series into the reality TV humor part. I don't think I could describe this. I mean,
it sounds wild. I do like comedy stuff, but man, just hearing that of like have to come up with a story on the spot and make people laugh and then get kicked off and stuff. That sounds.
But they're all very skilled at that. They're like seasoned veterans.
Sure, which
right?
makes sense. But like, I wonder if this is a Japanese show. Are you finding it funny? Like, does a lot of the humor translate over? Because humor is notoriously hard to translate into a different language. A lot of cultural things don't come over. A lot of nuance in the wordplay doesn't come over. So, like, are you still finding it funny?
For me, I am. So there's a caveat. There's an asterisk there. I've been watching Japanese TV and reality shows probably since I was a kid. So like that's all I've always understood the humor. And if you have enough reference points, like one of the girl comedians in this talks about an anime, and I'm like, I know about that anime. So then when she said the joke that like they used her likeness, but she's not in it, like I laughed, right? Mm-hmm. So some of it's like those, but the other ones are like the guy's like, my co-star, said I'm ugly or whatever. It's just like basic things.
Basic jokes. Okay.
My wife is leaving me for whatever reason. So yeah, a lot of it's like, it's funny because a lot of the painful things were just like really sad stories, but the way they delivered it, just like a really good comic, can make it funny, right?
Sure.
So it's really about delivery and a lot of like relatable things. But dude, it's just such a novel concept. I really like it.
Interesting. All right, I'll check it out. We've been kind of doing a lot of Asian TV and movies lately, so I'll definitely check that out for sure. Cool.
2 more things. One, the Love Wagon that I mentioned for you. Yep. Definitely start with the Asian journey, because the African journey that I'm on right now, which is the season 3 or whatever 4, it's just super depressing. Like, it's just rough. So I really want you to see that style of show. So start with the Asian journey.
Okay. All right.
There's 2 seasons of that. And then lastly, £1 Million Menu.
I don't know what this is. Is this on Netflix?
So fucking good. Also Netflix. I'm a big fan of Shark Tank. I'm a big fan of food travel shows. This mixes those 2 together in an hour-long episode. What happens is they take 3 restaurateurs, or like they could be someone who's like working on a food truck. They could have like a small mom and pop shop. They could have an idea that they're just starting to sell. But mainly it's people who have been semi-established, but they're trying to make it, right? And they bring in their top dish to a bunch of investors, and then the investors pick one of those 3 groups to be to basically do a test kitchen and see if they can be successful.
Gotcha.
Right, and then when they do that test kitchen, when they pick one of them, they make them do a bunch of different things, like a dinner service and a lunch service, and then those investors can drop out, or they can continue on, and they can offer the money at the end.
Interesting. And this is on Netflix, you said?
It's on Netflix, and
is
it's
this
just
UK
so smart. It's British. I think it's a British show. I don't know.
I mean, I figure it says pounds. I mean, it must be British. Yes,
it must be. Yeah. It's in Manchester. That's right. The main thing's in Manchester. But it's just such a smart idea. I know that the U.S. will copy it because it's too damn good. And I like that it's an hour, because it really fits like you get to know these 3 different companies or these, restaurateurs or whatever and entrepreneurs, and then you follow their journey as they try to like make it and actually work with real customers. Because lots of times in Shark Tank, you won't see that second part, You'll just see the investment. You won't see like the hard work they have to do. So I can't recommend it hard enough. £1 Million Menu.
All right, that sounds like our jam. I'll check that. Mention that to the wife when we go upstairs here. We'll talk about that. So, all right, cool.
Lots of stuff. All right, you got more things too.
Just a couple things here. Quick shout out to The Outlaws, which I was watching on Prime, Amazon Prime. This one from Stephen Merchant.
So every episode you're going to mention it now then.
Well, it's over. I just watched the last episode.
Oh, okay.
So this is the final. I wanted to give the quick wrap up. Season 2 is all there is. So there's a beginning, middle, and an end. And man, what a journey. I am glad it ended because I feel like it was a complete story, and I feel like they said what they needed to say. They got in, they got out, they did it. But boy, I'm going to really miss these characters. I thought the cast was just so great. I really enjoyed all their different personalities and how they interacted with each other. It was just so fun. I'm glad they're not going to drag it out to, wring all the joy out of it. But oh man, I could easily do maybe one more season, but it makes sense that they ended it where it did. Really great stuff. I really highly recommend it. I think it was really funny, really weird, off the wall, unexpected. This is a series about people from different walks of life who all get busted for small crimes. They have to go clean up a community center to do their community service. And while they're there, a bunch of weird shit happens, not supernatural, just crime stuff. And they all deal with it in different ways, and how they relate to each other is just really, really interesting. I just thought it was great. Had a great time with it. Loved it. Christopher Walken fucking kills in that.
Yes.
Everybody does a great job in that show. So it's wonderful stuff.
Check it out.
Check that out for sure. Watching Wednesday on Netflix. Did you watch Wednesday on
Watched
Netflix?
it as soon as it came out.
You did. You watched the whole thing?
Finished it in 2 days or 3 days. Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
What did you think of it real briefly?
Oh, I loved it to death.
Okay. We are watching it now. We're about halfway through, and I think it's fine. I gotta say, it's not super clicking with me though, and I guess I'm not exactly sure. I think part of it is Jenna Ortega, who plays Wednesday, the lead. She is so one note and so just nothing there. And I get that that's part of her character, right? She's emotionally shut. She's not accessible. But she's got this real aggro thing going on against the whole world. And I don't remember if that's how she was in the original Addams Family. I suspect probably not.
It is. It actually is. Go back and look.
No, but the old series, the TV series. Is she
the TV series, she was more of a kid. But the actual movies that people remember, she was just as dark.
Was she? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I remember dating myself, clearly. I remember the TV show and not the movies so much. I did see them, but.
Yeah, Christina Ricci basically was this kind of let's just kill everything. And it's almost identical. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really kind of she keeps pounding the same ground, and it's it's cool, but I feel like she's going a little hard on it, and I would like a little bit of variation. I mean, some of the emotional tone comes from the other characters. Everybody kind of reacts to her, and she's just kind of the dark kind of singularity, the black hole at the middle of it, which is fine, I guess. It's okay. It's fine. It's interesting, but I'm not loving it like I thought I was going to. It's okay. We're going to see what happens.
I'll say that my only rebuttal is that, again, similar to when you have expectations or when you watch it, I just, as soon as it came out and it was released, before anybody was talking about the dance or the Twitter things, nothing was out there. Sure. And I was like, what is this weird thing? So I just kind of enjoyed it for that. And I love Jenna doing what she does in that kind of darkness because, I don't know, I was just kind of in that mood. But also, because you haven't finished it, her character develops. I
mean, I would have
there's
to
obviously stuff that happens.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ruin it, but and also with her roommate, I think that actress is awesome.
The roommate's great. Yeah,
there's some really cool stuff that happens later on, so just give it a chance.
Yeah. We're still in. We're watching 1 or 2 episodes a day, so we'll finish it pretty quick. But yeah, I'm just I got about 3 episodes in. I'm okay, I get it. You want to kill everything and you're super nihilistic, and I get it, but okay, let's change it up a little bit. So we'll see. The only other thing I have, so I don't know if have we talked about Brave Star on this show before, Carlos? Have we?
I did a million years ago. The Brave Star trilogy is out on consoles. Wait, oh no, I'm talking about the game.
No, there's no game. There's no game of Brave Star. What are you thinking of?
What am I thinking of now? Hold on. Game.
I'm thinking of Brave Star, the Native American sheriff who was a Filmation cartoon in the 80s.
Oh my goodness. Totally different. And It's Brave Land. I think I was thinking about Brave
Oh,
Land.
Brave Land, yeah, which is a cool game.
People, check out Brave Land.
Brave Land is
Super
great.
fucking
I did
fun.
enjoy Brave Land, yes.
Okay,
No,
sorry.
we're not talking about
Now
that.
tell me what you're talking about.
Okay, so talking about Brave Star, this is put out by Filmation, the 80s powerhouse animation run by Lou Scheimer. This came after He-Man. So after He-Man and She-Ra had both wrapped up in the 80s, Brave Star, I don't know if it was their next thing, but it came after those two things. It was set in future on the planet of New Texas, deep in space, and Marshall Bravestar was a indigenous Native American sheriff. He was obviously identifiable as not white, but he was the lawman on the planet of New Texas, and he had his horse, who is also a cyborg. His horse was named 3030, and he could transform from a robot to a horse, or bipedal mode to a quadrupedal mode, basically. And then there was like a judge that was his buddy. He had a little deputy that was kind of like a prairie dog person who was a native of that planet. So we watched this because my son really likes the Filmation style. And honestly, I really do too. I think what Lou Scheimer and his group were doing at Filmation was really great. Not only was the animation really well done, but also you could tell that he gave a shit about people, because all his cartoons have morals and messages, and they really spend a lot of time in character. Just to give you like a quick counterpoint, I know we talked about He-Man and She-Ra. My son and I watched the whole thing, loved it. And then I started watching Transformers with him. Did we talk about this? How we bounced off of Transformers? Did I mention this?
I don't know if you bounced off it, but you talked about watching it.
We started watching it, and about halfway through, my son's like, "I'm good," and I'm like, "Whoa, really?" He's like, "Yeah, this is dumb." He's like, I can't follow what's happening. I don't understand who these characters are. Stuff happens, and it seems totally random, and like nothing has continuity." And I'm like, you know what? You're right. You're right. You're totally right.
Yeah.
It is my 80s nostalgia that's carrying me. And he was right. Like when we really took a hard look at it, we got through He-Man because those characters kind of grew and evolved over the series. Not in the way that they do these days, but they definitely had care. There was continuity. They tried to really deliver stories between the people. But in Transformers, it was just like fighting, shooting lasers. And every time a new guy hit the shelves, there was like a new guy in the show. And there was like, they would get rid of characters, no explanation. Introduce characters, no explanation.
Right.
Whatever happened last week, who cares, right?
Young people are spoiled now when it comes to like character development series, like the idea of a show that cares about progression. Because when we grew up, it was just about like loud explosions or something lots of times.
Yeah, he was right. And I'm like, you know what? You're totally right. And when I saw it through his lens, absolutely true. And just an interesting side note. I mean, I think Optimus Prime is probably one of the most famous characters of all time. I think you could probably go to any country in the world and be like, who's this guy? And they're like, yeah, Optimus Prime. He's only in Transformers for 1.5 seasons. That's it.
What?
It blew me away. He gets killed in Transformers the movie. That's not a spoiler. That's like a 40-year-old movie, folks. But before that, there is like Series 1 is like 12 episodes of Transformers. Series 2 is like, I don't know, 30 episodes or something. He's only fucking in it for 1.5 series, dude, or seasons. And I'm like, it blew my mind how little he's in the fucking cartoon. I'm like, all my childhood, I'm like, Optimus Prime is the man, he's the king, and all this stuff. And you go back and look at it, 1.5 seasons.
Wow,
dude.
that's
nothing. Weird. It's nothing. Anyway, so he bounced on Transformers, and to be honest, I didn't blame him. So I'm like, okay, well, let's find something else. So we went back to Filmation and Bravestar. So did you ever watch Bravestar? Do you know Bravestar?
No, just watching it makes me feel like crazy that I didn't watch it, because being Native American, having no role models growing up, I should have. I don't know if we
I'm
did.
so surprised, dude. I thought for sure that you would have known about Bravestar and watched it.
I don't know if we had it on our television. I don't know.
Not,
like,
right?
You know what I mean?
Back
That's really what it came down to. Back then, or again, nowadays, you grow up and watch anything you want.
I know, right?
Platform, right?
I know.
So I don't think I ever saw this come across our television. And for the most time, growing up, we did not have cable, right?
Sure.
So I'm guessing this was on cable. Yeah. And we were like on welfare and had 3 channels. So
sure.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it. And it's crazy because, I was like, that guy looks like me.
Yeah, I mean, so I read some articles. Okay, so here's the thing. So Bravestar, Native American, he's a sheriff. He's on this planet. It's like Western techno futuristic kind of stuff. Like all the horses are like robots. He's got a laser gun, but he also is like a sheriff with a badge, and he's kind of doing that whole thing. It's a very interesting juxtaposition. I'm sure the first thing people are going to think of is like appropriation, right? Because I don't believe any Native Americans or indigenous people were involved in the creation of it. So it was like Lou Scheimer, who himself was a Jewish person, and his American studio. I don't know who was there. Telling a story about a Native American person, and like clearly some shit is like, okay, I gotta raise an eyebrow at this. Bravestar's thing is he's not only a good sheriff and he's very virtuous and righteous, but he has animal powers that are based on animals that you might associate with Native American people: bear, hawk, wolf, and puma. And his mentor, in the same way that He-Man had the sorceress in Castle Grayskull, he has the shaman, who is literally a shaman, and he's wearing the feather headdress. He talks in that. I'm not even going to do it here, but you know the Indian voice that the stereotypical Indian voice that we saw on TV for so many decades.
Yeah,
so,
like real Indians, like real natives that sound like that, right? Like,
so it's very. In some ways, I'm like, okay, this has got to be appropriation, right? So I read some articles written by natives, indigenous people, and they're like, fuck yeah, this is like super racist and appropriation. But Bravestar was awesome, and he was representation. He's the only guy on TV that looked like me back then, and so I fucking love him for that. And that's kind of how I'm landing on it, right? Is like I can see the problems with it, but Bravestar's a fucking cool dude. Like he's a hero, man.
That's good, yeah.
And that at some point there was even talks about maybe crossing him over with He-Man and merging those two universes, which would have been amazing. They didn't do it, but it was on par with that. And so like seeing a Native American in that role, he is clearly the hero. He gets shit done. He's funny. He's warm. He's personable. He's really human. We're just fucking loving the interaction between him and 3030's horse. Like they do these jokes and shit. They've got little buddy moments and stuff. And the way that he talks to people, it's really fucking good. And there is some appropriation. There is some stuff that's not good, but God damn it, it's not garbage. I don't think it's bad. I mean, I think it's a product of its time, and I'm not going to make excuses for it, but I certainly think there is something worthwhile here, especially for people who want to see more Native American representation. I mean, we're just, we're talking about the things that they don't get right. I mean, I think that the way that they show the prairie dog people is maybe not so cool, but like in general, like it's hard to ignore the fact that this guy who is fucking brown, he's got black hair, he's got Native American features, he's the fucking star of this thing, and people look up to him, and he's the baddest motherfucker in town. Like that's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, and they should reboot it because they could do it like fully correct now. Because we have Reservation Dogs now, one of my favorite shows ever.
Oh, one of the best shows ever.
With native representation of the, actually directing and acting in it and stuff like that. So they could bring this back. I don't know. And again, to your point of like trying to figure out how to justify being okay with it. One, any representation on screen back then for us natives was like amazing, right? Like, holy shit, what? Are you kidding me? Yeah. And then secondly, it just sounds like, and I probably saw it in passing on my friend's TV or something, that it was done like, in a positive way. It wasn't like they were like, really hamming up like corny stereotypes or something like that. So
yeah, I mean, I think you're right. That's really the thing that makes the difference for me, right? Is because sometimes you see something and you're like, they're taking the piss on this, or they're not treating it with respect. I maybe it's me, and I would be really interested if you watch like go watch 2 episodes of this on YouTube. It's the only place you can watch it. You can't stream it anywhere. But you can watch it for free on YouTube. They get the whole series. Watch 1 or 2 episodes. Let me know what you think. But like, I genuinely feel that they are trying to do their best job, and that they, they're probably ignorant in some ways, and they're not really treating it the way that we treat it now. But I feel like they were legit trying to make him a hero and trying to hold him up as a good guy, and they were trying to do their best. And it really does not feel like they're making fun of him or like they're making fun of the culture or anything. It's like, they made some mistakes and they gave it their best shot. But, I feel like it turned out okay.
Yeah. All right, well, check it out.
Check that out. All right, that is it. That is a show. Thanks for listening. As always, we want to get your questions and comments. Hit us up. SoVideoGamesPodcast@gmail.com. We're on Twitter @SoVideoGames. We're on Instagram @SoVideoGamesPodcast. I'm trying to pace myself, so I'm updating only when we update the show. But you can also hit us up individually. Carlos, where are we directing traffic this week?
Just always TikTok, probably. Carlos Riddell on TikTok. At some point soon, maybe Twitch, because of a new job that I'll talk about probably next episode.
All right.
And I think it's just my name, twitch.tv/Carlos Rodella. Before I go, I know we're already long, but I would say one more thing. I try to stream Xbox. I try to stream Oblivion on Xbox Series X, and they won't let you through the app, because it's already, I guess, streaming the game, right? Because it's not, although it did download something. So I just don't know why we can't get the technology right. So I'm hoping that we can figure that out someday. Because if you stream an old game, you can't stream it back out to Twitch right now.
I don't know anything about that. I have no idea.
I'm just saying, like, you playing an old game on your Xbox, and it's an old, like a 360 game or something, they won't let you stream it. But normally you can take any game you're playing on Xbox and hit a button, and you're streaming it to Twitch, right? Yeah, it just happens. So the fact that I couldn't do that with Oblivion, the thing that I want to stream the most, really, really bothered me. So I don't know if anybody's out there knows how a workaround, let me know.
All right. Anybody who knows, I'm sure someone knows. So get in touch with Carlos, hook him up. As for me, social media, same as always, on Instagram, on Twitter, BradGallaway. All A's, no O's. And there also is an Instagram for Game Critics as well if you want to check out what's going on at GameCritics.com. I believe it is GameCritics.com, all spelled out in letters. So check that out if you got a minute. And that is going to do it for episode 320. Thank you again for joining us here on the Videogames podcast, and we'll see you next week.
Oh, we'll see you next week. Crap, I forgot.
Ah, damn it.
I was just going to nail it.
Okay. Do it again. All right. Thanks again for joining us here on the Videogames podcast, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.